Hickory, Simply Amish, and more during the Naturewood 4th of July sale event. Find the furniture that you will celebrate for years to come. Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
At the Good Feet store, we take pain very seriously. Whether in the foot, knee, hip, or back, Good Feet makes over 300 styles, flexibilities, and sizes of pain-relieving arch supports. With 26 bones, 30 joints, and over 100 muscles, tendons, and ligaments in each foot, a lot can go painfully wrong. So there's a trained arch support specialist at each Good Feet store to give you a precision fit. Come in for a free fitting and test walk. No appointment necessary. Good Feet arch supports are HSA, FSA eligible.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Vacaville. Online at goodfeet.com.
It ignites something inside of you.
Lightning and the thunder.
Sets alight an elevated state of being. Days are pure exhilaration. And the nights, they're simply electric. See it, hear it, feel it.
Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
No look, Bibby to Weber down the lane, flying jam. There's your play of the night right there. It's inside is Sabonis, a two-hand rip, a brilliant pass from De'Aaron Fox.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Sactown Sports.
Feeding your passion for local sports in the afternoon. It's the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Draper on your radio at 1140 a.m.
Streaming audio at SactownSports.com and the Sactown Sports app.
You can also watch the show on YouTube at Sactown Sports 1140. Here are the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Draper.
Yes, Kyle Draper is back. I think that's Kyle Draper.
Yeah,
I don't quite recognize him.
That's me. I got the vacation look going on. Got my Hawaiian shirt. Got the beard. The gray is out. This is how I vacation, big fella. I don't worry about personal maintenance or taking care of my looks. I'm not trying to impress anybody when I'm on vacation. So this is how I look.
It's not like you look bad.
I don't know. I'm kind of rough, dude.
You look unkempt.
I feel like Tom Hanks in Castaway or something like that.
Wilson! Welcome back. You had a great time, obviously.
Yeah,
right?
Oh, dude, epic trip, man. Amazing. Went down to Cabo, me and the kids. Did some horseback riding on the beach.
Ooh.
Did some ATVs. Rode the ATVs. Did some snorkeling as well. Wow. And so, no, man, I had a blast. It was amazing.
Didn't lose your wallet again, did you?
Did not lose my wallet. Didn't lose the passports. I was good. Man. I was on top of it.
First thing I thought of when you said horseback riding on the beach. I know the last time you were at the beach, I could just see that thing popping out.
Dude, that happened one time, Whitey. Are you going to let me live this down or what, big fella? That happened one time.
Yeah.
You guys miss me?
Yes. Yeah. Glad you're back, and you got to be thrilled about today's news, huh?
What?
Thrilled about the report from Matt Moore, Action Network? You honestly haven't seen this?
No, I haven't seen this.
Okay. This is just this afternoon. The Sacramento Kings are going, bear with me, going back to the well with the same trade package they offered Toronto twice for Anunoby and Pascal Siakam. The offer includes Barnes, Herter, draft pick compensation. They're known to have had calls with Chicago involving Zach LaVine and Alex Caruso. How about that?
Now, who's this Yahoo again?
This is Matt Moore. Kings would love to keep Malik Monk and will offer him the max they can at 4 years, $78 million. They realistically won't be able to match offers from teams like Detroit, Charlotte, Orlando. That, in part, is what makes LaVine more attractive to them at a discounted price after his trade market value hit rock bottom at the deadline. So this is a new report.
I gotta look this guy up. Hold on.
After talks at the deadline.
What's Matt? I don't follow Matt Moore.
I'll tell you all about Matt Moore in a second. But first, listen to this. The Kings are expected to renew conversations with Washington for Kyle Kuzma, especially with the Wizards potentially adding a front court starter in the draft later this month. That's Action Network's Matt Moore, June 18th, 2024. Welcome back.
What's his handle, Jay? Give me what's his Twitter handle?
I think it's actually Action Network. At Action Network, something like that.
Matt Moore has covered the. I knew you were going to ask, so I actually got his bio because I knew Drake's
because
man, for a while, Drake.
But I don't. If I don't follow him, Jay, I don't. Okay. I don't put much stock in him.
I'll say this though, Drake, before you go, because you're on vacation. So let me just go in there and jump in front before I take a step back. There's That ain't no reporting. We all know that.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Drake's knew that. I'm going on vacation.
I thought, right. That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to figure out the news here, and I did not see that tweet. You got the tweet right there, Whitey?
No, this was not a tweet, but I have his bio. Article. And by the way, I do think it's news if they've had calls with Chicago, and we're talking about since the trade deadline, and if they're expected to go back to Washington. That's a little more.
Let me say this, Whitey. Let me just say this first. Matt Moore's covered the NBA for 17 years. He's Moore as an NBA awards voter in 2017. Is that on his bio?
He's considered one of the leading analysts online when it comes to the MVP race.
All right, here's the bio. Here's the thing.
Hardwood
paradoxisms.
Hardwood, yeah.
Oh, that. Okay, yeah. I've heard of that one. I don't think I followed them. But here's the thing. We, like Jay said, we knew that. I don't bring up Zach LaVine like it's just some wish or something like that. It makes total sense. Now, the problem is, when you look at talks with Chicago, if you try to include Alex Caruso, that's where I think we fall short in terms of a package.
Mm-hmm.
Because Alex Caruso by himself could fetch a couple of first rounders. And so now you're telling me Caruso and Zach LaVine? I could see us trying to get both of them in terms of being realistic, because that's what I am, Whitey. I'm not a trade machine guy. I'm not a pie-in-the-sky fan in my grandma's basement. I'm telling you the real deal, how front offices operate. Why would Chicago do that package that we just mentioned?
Well, I don't know that they would, but to answer your question, it's because they want to get out from under Zach LaVine's deal. So if they get somebody to take that deal off their hands and they get draft pick compensation they like, they might consider it. Now, I got to say this. You're not going to like what Jay and I were saying yesterday about the Kings standard offer, which seems to be Barnes and Herter plus draft pick compensation. A story came out yesterday. Michael Scotto reported that the Kings are believed to be, according to GMs, the Kings are offering Harrison Barnes and Kevin Herter. It's like they've been offering that for a long time.
Right. Yeah.
That's like, what do we say, Jay? That's like the Toyota,
Toyota Corolla base package.
Yes, exactly.
Don't diss my guys like that.
No, it's just,
I hear you. Right. It's been out there. That package is one of those packages that you have in your back pocket.
Right.
If you need it, it's there. If that's the package that's been offered at the trade deadline, too. I know. And so if teams aren't biting on it then, why would they bite on it now?
Right.
That's my concern. I will say this, and I did see the report about OG Anunoby not being happy with what the Knicks might be offering in terms of a new contract. Is that a guy that we might be able to get in the mix for? Pascal Siakam, put that out of your mind, Kings fans. That's not going to happen.
How do we get OG? How could we?
Trade situation?
So like a sign and trade?
Sign and trade?
Because he's asking for it. Like the Knicks might give him 35 and he wants more, right?
And he wants more. 35 million?
Yeah.
He's not
he wants
worth
his birds
that.
right.
He's not worth that, right?
He wants his 46.
He's not worth
the floor. I guess what I read yesterday, I forget who wrote it now. The floor for him is like 35 and the ceiling is a max deal. And a lot of teams are going, well, we might give him 35. We're not giving him a max deal. It looks like maybe that's what he's hoping to get. Something more like that.
Yeah. But if you're the Knicks and he's not going to, it behooves you to try to get a little something of a sign and trade.
Yeah.
Now, OG Anunoby, meanwhile, the ball is totally in his court. If he wants to come to Sacramento, he can force the hand. Meaning, you know what, Kings, I want to come there, make it happen, sign and trade. But he has to want to come here. Now, that would be a guy I think could fit and I would be happy with.
He's unrestricted, right?
Yeah, unrestricted. Yeah. Right. But it'd have to be like he wanted to go to Boston or the Lakers, like some team, and that's the only team he wants to sign with, sort of like almost sort of like Carmelo did with the Knicks if you forced his way by way of trade. Anthony Davis forced his way by way of trade. OG could say, the team I want to sign with is the Sacramento Kings. They don't have the space. Can we do a sign and trade? It would behoove the Knicks to do it because they're going to lose them to somebody no matter what. It would behoove the Kings to do it because you get a guy like Anunoby, but that's only if
he wants to do
He
it.
wants to do it. And Sacramento is his destination.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm still in vacation mode. Let's call it what it is right now, Whitey. I got my shirt on. I got the beard. People are saying, Drapes, you just hopped off the plane. Nah, I came back yesterday, but this is the Father's Day gift from my daughter.
Oh, that's nice.
So I said, you know what? I'm going to rock it today for my baby girl at home, who's my sweetheart. So that's why I got this shirt on today.
Trying to think if it goes with the headphones. Close. Not quite.
I tell you what, she loved the headphones. She used my headphones all this week.
Really?
Man. Oh, yeah. All last week she used the headphones. I'm about to show you the picture so you can, and I might put this on my social media account on IG.
Why haven't you already?
Dude, I've been busy, Jay. I'm about to
on
post
vacation.
it. I just got it last night, big fella. She just gave it to me because it came too late. Let me show you real quick, Whitey.
Oh, that's very nice.
Picture, man.
She got the matching dress.
Yes.
And I got the shirt. And so this is Father's
Would
Day.
that
gift.
show up here? I don't know. It might not show
I don't
up.
know. It might not show
It's
up.
beautiful.
Dude, I'm
That's
trying
very
to get some more followers. So I'm gonna send people to my IG page, Kyle Draper TV. I'm about to post it right now. Go check it out. But yeah, that's why I'm wearing the shirt today in honor of my daughter.
I thought you'd be more excited by this. I'm excited because the off season's finally here officially. Now that Boston takes care of Dallas, so we know the Kings are going to start doing something. I think they have to do something.
Right.
Jay again thinks they may be able to wait it out till the deadline. We kicked that around yesterday. I understand where he's coming from, but I don't think your fan base would stand for that.
I don't think so. And here's the thing. You know, we're watching the Celtics win the championship. We'll talk about that. We're watching all these teams go for it. And this offseason, there are going to be plenty of big names being moved. Jay says, you know what? Maybe at the trade deadline. The guys we want might not be available then, Jay. The guys we want might be moved now. Zach LaVine, Caruso, all these guys that I've been mentioning before. Now's the time, I feel like, to strike because, too, when you look at it, teams don't have a lot of cap space. I don't think teams have, if you're talking about trading draft picks, this is the pick that you want to trade. You don't want to trade next year's or 2 years or 4 years. This is the pick that you want to trade. And so I think the Kings are in their strongest position is right now in terms of their assets.
Of all the moves Boston made to become champions, we'll tell you what the boldest was, and we'll continue this Kings off-season trade conversation or free agent conversation when we come right back to Sactown Sports.
It's the ride everybody wants to be driving, and Elk Grove Kia has them in stock right now. I'm talking about the 2024 Kia Telluride. And my friends at Elk Grove Kia can get you behind the wheel of a 2024 Telluride SX for only $419 a month, plus taxes and fees. Whenever I see one of these driving down the road or next to me at a red light, I just stop and admire it because the Kia Telluride just looks iconic. And not only is the Kia Telluride beautiful, it's got room for the whole family. There's a seating capacity for up to 7 passengers. Plus, it's loaded with tech. So is the 2024 Kia Telluride the right ride for you and your family? Come on down to Elk Grove Kia and the Elk Grove Auto Mall. Give it a test drive. And just a heads up, when you're here at Elk Grove Kia, you're going to be treated very well. You're not going to get this kind of car buying experience in Roseville, Vacaville, Sacramento, or Davis. That's why Elk Grove Kia has so many 5-star reviews. Again, check them out in the Elk Grove Auto Mall or online, elkgrovekia.com. 24-month lease, $0 security deposit, 20 cents per mile over 10,000 miles per year, $4,999 due at signing based on approval of credit. VIN number 501850, ends June 30th, 2024.
The only place you'll find De'Aaron Fox is Sactown Sports.
Spins away from the defender, in the paint, soft floater. That's a great play by De'Aaron Fox.
Hey, Sacramento, it's De'Aaron Fox, and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sactown Sports.
Your local sports leader. Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Congratulations to the world champion Boston Celtics. We're going to talk about the Kings all off season long, talk about bold moves they could make. Before we get back to that, I just want to say, to me, of all the moves Boston made on their way to becoming champions, the boldest move was hiring Joe Mazzulla and then sticking with him after last year.
Oh, yeah. Let me turn on my mic here. Oh, yeah, I think so. When everybody, including myself, when everybody, including myself, thought they should get rid of Joe Mazzulla, thought he was a clown, thought he was in over his head. They stuck with him. And give them credit. And we'll talk about Boston and their run in a minute here. They surrounded him with capable assistants. And we got to look at last year, his first year on the job. Remember, he got thrust into the role. Ime Udoka got canned, right before media day, right before camp was supposed to start. And Joe Mazzulla, at 34 years old, was thrust into the spotlight. Now you surround him with a Charles Lee, a Sam Cassell, veteran guys who have been around. And, I will say, I feel like Mazzulla has matured in the job from a coaching standpoint. He used to notoriously fail to call timeouts. Now he's quick with his timeouts. There's some little things that he did throughout the season that showed me he learned from his mistakes in year one. So kudos to him and the organization for getting it done.
Yeah, so your son must have been happy last night, huh?
Dude, it was terrible. It was terrible. Hey, here's the thing about the Celtics. People are like, Drapes, you got to be happy. Your guys, I'm happy for Al Horford. I'm happy for Jason Tatum. I'm happy for my guy, Jaylen Brown. These guys were like family. They took pictures with my kids. They did great things with my kids. Like, my kids grew up loving them. The fan base, ownership, but my kids, they bleed green, man. And we got home last night from Cabo. My son, first thing he did was run upstairs, throw on his Jaylen Brown jersey, his Celtic shorts, his green hat, and came down. Yeah, like they are stoked. He's like, Dad, can we fly home for the parade? I'm like, you got parade money? No, we can't fly. We just went to Cabo. We can't, but no. So they're stoked, man. They are fired up.
What's the owner's name? Wick
Grossbeck.
Yeah. Did you hear when Lisa Salters goes, and now here's Wick Grossbeck. He goes, thank you, Michelle.
Michelle, I tell you.
Michelle?
Who's Michelle? I did hear that, and I was driving home, and so I was listening on the radio, and I thought, did I hear what I just like? And so I got home, and everybody's like, yeah, Wicked is crazy, man. He got caught up in the moment.
Yeah, Doris Burke caught some flack for, I thought she said something that was insightful and funny, and a lot of people coming after her today. There was a foul on Porzingis. He got kind of thrown down, or maybe he flopped. She goes, man, if that was Caitlin Clark, we'd be talking about this for 2 weeks. That's not funny. What is she? Oh, bring back Van Gundy.
No, that was her best line of the entire series.
Yes, the entire season.
Season, right? And because she's 100% right, too. She's 100% right. But the thing about Caitlin Clark, and I know you guys have talked about it, anytime she's brought up, it brings out a certain level of discourse that no other athlete, like Caitlin Clark, is so polarizing. And it's not because of anything she's actually done. People are taking sides no matter what. And so anytime you mention her name, people are up in arms about it.
Mm-hmm. You think Zach LaVine's going to be polarizing this offseason?
I tell you what.
Among Kings fans?
He shouldn't be polarizing. He should be, and remember, I had the D list a couple of weeks ago.
Yes.
He was at the top of my list. Zach LaVine, number 1, John Collins, number 2. I think Zach LaVine just answers so many questions. And people are saying, well, Drapes, what about his contract? Here's the thing. We aren't going to have a $40 to $50 million guy because we can't just go out there and sign that guy. Maybe Keegan Murray gets the, max in his second contract. But to win a championship, you got to have upper-level guys. And when you have that, that comes with upper-level contracts. And I think Zach LaVine's that guy.
Here's what the great Matt Moore says about the potential acquisition of Zach LaVine. He says, making salaries work in a potential LaVine trade would require, as we said, the likes of Barnes, Herter, while adding another player like Trey Lyles. Sasha Vezenkov would also be needed to make the money work. Chicago will, of course, likely seek draft compensation as well, so the Kings would have to part with their lottery pick, maybe future picks as well. Adding LaVine's remaining $137.8 million over the next 3 years, player option for the final year, which you figure is probably going to pick up, would tie up most of Sacramento's cap space in 3 players, Fox, LaVine, and Domas. LaVine's addition to the Kings could also impact Sacramento's ability to retain Keegan Murray, who will become a restricted free agent following the 25-26 season. So again, this is just reporting. This isn't someone saying they should get him or they shouldn't, just saying this is what it would require. So yeah.
Let me say something about what you just read.
Please.
And please repeat it, if you will.
Yeah.
About Keegan Murray. It could impact, is that what they said?
Yes, sir.
There's only one. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. It could impact Sacramento's ability to retain Keegan Murray, who will become a restricted free agent following the 25-26 season, says Matt Moore.
Why? Matt Moore. Why would it impact Keegan Murray? Do you think? I'm just asking. I'm just not trying to diss Matt Moore or any. I'm just saying, why do you think it would impact Keegan Murray and the ability to re-sign him?
The only thing I could think of, since they drafted him and they can pay him what they want, he would be implying that Sacramento might be a little reluctant to dip into the luxury tax.
Now
but you can pay Keegan Murray whatever you want, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And to me, that sounds like, will ownership be willing to do that?
Yeah.
And if we're not, then are we serious about winning? And, if it's like in baseball, Whitey, when you got the Dodgers and the Yankees spending X amount of dollars and you're the A's and the Pirates and the Marlins try to compete, I mean, you can't compete with those big dogs. You can't. I mean, sure, there have been teams, the Diamondbacks who, aren't up there in terms of payroll with those guys. But to play with the big boys, you got to spend some money.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the Celtics payroll. They're about to re-sign Derek White also to $100 and something million contract. They're going to have Tatum a $300 million contract, Jaylen Brown a $300 million, Drew Holiday $130, $140, Derek White $100 and something million. To play with the big boys, you got to spend money. And if bringing in Zach LaVine impacts Keegan Murray, then what are we doing?
Yeah.
Then what are we doing?
An interesting side note to all this as we look at maybe Zach LaVine, maybe Kyle Kuzma. Kyle Kuzma's contract is not that bad.
What is it, 20-something million?
Yeah.
It's not bad. You're a Kuzma guy. You're high on.
I'm everybody now. Let's get them all. Yeah. You see how good Boston is?
Yeah. But here's the thing, and let me ask you this. When I look at what the Celtics did, look at the type of player they brought in. The Drew Holidays, the Derek White, even Kristaps Porzingis to a lesser extent. Can we see Kyle Kuzma making that sort of impact in terms of, like, those guys fit in seamlessly? They brought an edge, a toughness. What does Kyle Kuzma bring to the table for us?
He brings length. He brings he's a dynamic scorer. He's not as consistent a shooter as they would need him to be, but he also just makes you better because he upgrades your talent level. That, to me, is the main thing they have to do.
I think with Kyle Kuzma, tremendous talent. And you're right. Everything you said is 100% right. Upgrade the talent, tremendous scorer. I just look at him versus Zach LaVine and the way they play. To me, Zach LaVine has more of a killer instinct in him. The way Zach LaVine, I don't know if I've ever seen Zach LaVine smile on the basketball court. Zach LaVine is about his business on the court. Sure, you can say, oh, he's hurt, Drapes, he hasn't won, or his contract. But when he's in those lines and when he's playing, he's trying to win basketball games.
Yes.
And I'm not saying Kyle Kuzma isn't. I'm just saying Zach LaVine has a more, how should I put it, business-like approach than I think Kyle Kuzma.
You know how I feel about Kuzma as opposed to LaVine, but right now, I think the Kings, this report tells me the Kings are open to bringing both in. And I think, yes. Right now, to me, it isn't necessarily about one or the other. Because let's be honest. You look at the West, how tough it is. Is either one of those guys, especially if you lose Malik, you bring in one of those guys, are you really that much better off? A little, maybe.
Yeah.
So you almost need both.
You definitely need more than one addition, right?
Yeah,
you need to do 2 or 3 things, and we've talked about that. Do you think we have the assets to get both those guys?
It depends.
The Chicago thing is key, right?
Yeah.
Are they really just trying to dump LaVine
or not? Yeah. And how much you'd have to give up to get Zach LaVine? Because Washington, either one of those is imminently doable, but I know what you're saying. Because draft picks would probably be involved in both deals, do you have enough to satisfy both teams?
And how about salary, Whitey? If let's say you trade for a Zach LaVine, you still got to make the salary sort of comparable.
Mm-hmm.
And what are we talking about? HB, Herter? All right, so
they're already gone. I already traded him for Zach LaVine.
Right, that's what are we going to do?
Toyota Corolla LE.
Oh, it's an LE?
22. Yeah, that's the base.
He said
LE.
the base LE.
That's the LE, man.
But that's the thing. We are, let's say, and I don't agree with that assessment, Jay. Let me just say that. But
Jay wouldn't even give me a CD player yesterday.
no CD? 8-track? He got the 8-track?
No, man,
he wouldn't even
no
give
electronic
me the
locks.
Door. Yeah, electronic locks.
You got to roll up the window to manual.
Yeah.
The base. But here's the thing. If you move those guys to Chicago for Zach LaVine because of salary purposes, what assets do we have to swing to Washington? That's what I'm concerned about.
Mm-hmm.
We sweeten it with picks, but then you got to include 17, 18 million in salary. Also, who else you getting rid of? Basically, we're gutting the team other than 3 guys, Keegan, De'Aaron, and Domas, to acquire 2 guys.
I think that's right.
Damn.
And fellas, remember this. This is when you dig this deep, you have to make sure that these are the right moves, because you're going to give up your next 3 to 5 year draft picks, which means nothing's coming. The next 2 guys that you choose to stars or, fringe guy, not fringe guys, but 3rd star guy, somebody that you believe is going to make an impact. You have to be right with these.
Yeah.
Like, you can't miss.
This is it.
If you miss, you miss, you're not going to win a championship. So you got to really be kind of going at this and knowing the 2 or 3 next 2 stars that you add are the ones that you believe are going to take you to the championship.
Mark Cuban said something when he was talking about Dallas and the moves they made and how they worked out. He said, I just did not see a path for us just to be patient. And I think that's where the Kings are right now. So my point is, you may have to assume a little more risk than you normally like to, because we're not sure they're the right guys. We're not sure it would fit. There's reason enough to think it could. So we have to do it.
Drake's, does that sound familiar? Now you left for vacation and come back, and look who's on our side. Look who has come to the dark side.
Exactly. We got to get this done. Next week is the draft, fellas.
Yeah.
We know that, right? Next week, free agency has basically already started, and we won't get any Malik news. Trust me on that. It makes no sense for Malik to commit right now. That would scare me, actually. We could talk about that, too. If Malik doesn't commit over the next 13 days, what does that tell us?
Oh, I think they already know. I know what it tells them.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the things that makes LaVine more attractive to you.
Right.
If I don't have Malik, I need Zach LaVine
You
more.
need that. Yes. If we lose Malik and don't get a replacement or somebody better, we've taken a major step back, and we're fighting for a play-in spot again.
Yeah. What does Drapes think of the big fella who was just working out here yesterday? That's
Ooh,
next
okay.
as we roll on Sactown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. For your Tuesday, look for milky skies. We'll see sun and a few high clouds around today. And temperatures will warm to the upper 80s to low 90s. Watch for a shift in the wind to the southwest as we head through the overnight tonight. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Coach Doug Christie here to remind you, if you're in the market for a new car, shop Folsom Lake Kia. Low interest rates, low payments, and 0 down deals with approval of credit. Folsom Lake Kia, over 25 years, right here in Folsom.
NBA basketball returns to Golden One Center this July 6th, 7th, and 9th for the California Classic Summer League games. 3-day passes in the lower level start at just $66 and include access to all 6 games. See your Sacramento Kings as they host the San Antonio Spurs and Charlotte Hornets, featuring newly drafted rookies, NBA sophomores, and other athletes competing to make NBA rosters. Visit kings.com/California Classic for more information and to buy your tickets today.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com. Sponsored by Xfinity. Enjoy the entertainment you love with the Xfinity Stream app. Turn any screen into a TV and take the entertainment you love wherever you go. Xfinity, we connect you to more of what you love. Sacramento, Dirk Bentley is coming to town.
Hey, y'all, this is Dirk Bentley.
somewhere on the beach.
Saturday, September 28th at Heart Health Park at Cal Expo for Country in the Park 2. And he's bringing some friends.
This is Family. Take my hand, let me make you mine.
Hey, it's Dasha. Kelsey Hart and more. Saturday, September 28th at Heart Health Park at Cal Expo. Get your tickets before they sell out at CITPFest.com. Brought to you by Hyatt Vacation Club and Xfinity.
Got a drain that's clogged up? Or maybe a toilet? Or a faucet that just won't quit leaking? Kenny and Jerry are here from Bell Brothers, and we want you to know that it does make a difference which plumber you call.
At Bell Brothers, we respect your time by showing up when we say we'll be there. Our technicians are all background checked and drug tested, and will greet you with a smile.
100%.
They're trained to do the job right the first time, and they carry over 1,000 parts on their trucks, so they won't have to order something and then come back later.
They leave the work area cleaner than they found it, and your final bill will be the same as they quoted. That's why they call us the No Surprise Guys.
So if you need a plumber, it does make a difference who you call. Call Bell Brothers. Our number is 916-444-1234, or find us online at thenosurpriseguys.com. That's 916-444-1234, or find us online at thenosurpriseguys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers.
Award-winning country sensation Lee Brice is back.
One of them girls that ain't trying to meet nobody. You'll just hear
Live in concert. Friday, June 28th, 7:30 p.m. The venue at Thunder Valley. Lee Brice. Special guest Abby Anderson. The venue at Thunder Valley. For tickets, visit thundervalleyresort.com. Don't miss Lee Brice live.
Oh my God. Oh my God. It's a surreal feeling. We did it. We did it! Oh my God, we did it.
The Drive Guys, live and local. Every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
Yeah, but you didn't get the MVP award. Jason Tatum's kind of a different kind of cat, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
Huh. I've watched him for years, and I didn't realize until this year. And then again last night, he just
hating on him.
No, I'm not hating on him. It's a fact. You just listen to him talk, and you watch his teammates, and he just acts a little differently. Fine player. Probably should have been the MVP.
Probably should.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. Let me just say this and go on the record. Jason Tatum is one of my favorite players in the league. Favorite players in the association.
Mm-hmm.
When Jason Tatum walks into a building, you feel it. And maybe he is a little different, a little cheesy, a little corny with his "we did it" line after the win left. But that dude, and I said it a few months ago when we were talking about the face of the league, Jason Tatum, to me, has all the tools to be the face of the league. And here's why. Kids love him. Everybody knows how good of a player he is. But I also think suburban moms, I think Jason Tatum can play on any marketing ground there is.
Mm-hmm.
He could sell shoes. He could sell cereal. He could sell chips. I think Jason Tatum has the potential to be that next guy.
There's only one other guy on that team that has anything close to that, Peyton Pritchard. And he made another huge shot last night. Peyton Pritchard!
I tell you what.
For three!
Can I I said I was happy for Al. I said I was happy for my boy JB and Tatum. Peyton Pritchard. Let me tell you a story. Peyton Pritchard, to me, and he hits big shots. You're right.
Yeah.
Peyton Pritchard is the guy who hangs with the guys. Peyton Pritchard thinks he's one of the guys. You ever hang out with your buddies? Jay, you would know this. You go to the club. Some of your boys got more money. Maybe they look a little better than you. The ladies love them a little more. You're hanging with them, so you think you're that way too.
Uh-huh.
You think the ladies are there to see you. Peyton Pritchard, the ladies are not there to see you, big fella. And I was in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico, on a snorkeling trip. I'm in the middle of the Pacific, and I meet this couple. They're from right outside Boston.
Yeah.
And we're talking about the series. And they're like, Kyle, you still follow him? I'm like, yeah, JB, Tatum, those are my guys. You know, Al? And the guy looks at me and says, you know who my favorite player is, Drapes? And I said, don't do it. Don't do it. He said, Peyton Pritchard.
Yeah.
I'm like, this dude? And my son loves Peyton Pritchard. Peyton Pritchard thinks he's better than he is.
He's the heart and soul of that team, that underdog, that scrappy.
He grinds my gears,
Overachiever.
man. Dude, I'm like, dude, you're not that good. But because you got the guys with you. You know who Peyton Pritchard is? Draymond Green. Draymond Green thinks he's the guy because he's hanging with Steph and Clay. Bro, you go from Golden State to Detroit, you ain't nothing. Peyton Pritchard. You go from Boston to Charlotte, you're in the abyss.
Kings need some shooting. I'm hoping Peyton Pritchard finds his way here.
I know. If
one way or
can you
the other.
imagine if he actually did come here to he'd be my guy.
Yeah,
you know, then he would have to be my guy.
Hey, Pritchard, my guy. Always has been. Yeah.
Oh, man.
You know, when we get off this song, I ain't gonna be your guy.
TJ joins us on Sactown Sports. What's up, TJ? How are you?
Oh, nothing much, man. I was just talking. You talk about Peyton Pritchard and how he thinks he's the guy that hangs out with the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that reminds me of like Derek Fisher.
You're right. It's Kobe and Shaq's team. Don't walk around acting like you the guy, too. Fall in line. Know your position, son. I'm with you on that.
Yeah, thank you,
Yeah,
TJ.
definitely.
Appreciate it. I'll just say this, though. Calling Peyton Pritchard Derek Fisher is a huge compliment.
That's
to Peyton
true. Yeah,
Pritchard.
Derek
That's a
Fisher.
big-time compliment.
Yeah, at least Fisher was a starter.
He used to play.
He was a baller. You're right. I mean, Peyton Pritchard, who else can I compare him to? I look at a team.
Even your Draymond Green was kind of a...
I know, but Draymond's a player, though.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, it's like hanging, a guy that talks a lot of trash when he's around his buddies, but when you see him on the street by himself, they ain't got nothing to say. Peyton Pritchard outside with no Tatum or no Jaylen
He lets
Brown.
his jump shot do the talking.
Right. He's just another player. But he got the backing with Tatum, Brown, my guy Al Horford. And so, kudos to him, man. They're champions. Like Campio said, Peyton Pritchard is an NBA champion, and good for him, man.
That's right.
Can't take that away.
We didn't get a chance to ask you about this yesterday. This is big news yesterday. Now we got other fish to fry, but needed your take on this. Sean Cunningham on Twitter yesterday. Kings hosted a big pre-draft workout. According to league sources, Zach Edey.
My guy.
Kel'el Ware, Jamison Battle, Boogie Ellis, Ray J. Dennis, and Jonathan Mogbo participated. What do you think, Zach Edey? My theory in that, by the way, was they love Kel'el Ware, and they just wanted a big guy in there that he could work out against, so they invited Edey.
Oh,
I think they're really looking at the guy from Indiana.
They needed a workout partner.
It's like we need a big guy in there to give him something to work out against.
You know what? And I've said this before. I'll say it again. I like Zach Edey as a player. I think he'll be a fine NBA player. Long career, 12 to 15 years in the NBA. I don't like Zach Edey as a fit for Sacramento.
No.
I just, and maybe you want to change a pace from Domas or something like that. I don't know. But in this up-tempo offense that you're trying to run, where does Zach Edey fit? It just doesn't make sense to me. And so maybe they're doing their due diligence, Whitey, kicking the tires just in case. You got to do your due diligence. But I can't see Zach Edey getting picked 13th overall.
Yeah. So if they trade the pick, which it looks like they want to, if they make the pick, they're making it for someone else, right? Which we may not know for a while.
Yeah, it could.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a draft night deal. Hopefully it is, because I'd love to, hey, Zach LaVine coming to Sacramento. But you're right. We've seen players get picked and then a week or two later get traded. Here's the thing, though, with that pick. You got the Summer League coming up. You got California Classic basically a week later, Whitey.
You should have heard yesterday, Jay and I trying to figure out the schedule. Jay, you know why we screwed that up so badly? The Kings have two teams.
I looked at that
They
yesterday.
got one team in San Francisco, one team here.
I'm like,
and
how
Jay
are
and
they-
Jay's going, well, they play the Warriors in San Francisco. I was going, no, they play the Spurs
Right
here.
I was thinking, is it a double? Like, at noon they play at Golden State, and then 7, two teams.
I had to get the inside information. We had Coach Christie here. And I was like, something ain't right here.
Yeah,
like, what are we doing? Then we had people on text line like, you guys don't know. It's like, no, you don't know. You don't know because you're talking about they play Chinese national teams, and at the same time, they're playing also down at the Chase Center.
Yeah, right.
It's interesting, fellas. But they're only taking one team to the official summer league.
Right,
in Las
right,
Vegas.
right, exactly.
Right.
I got a little birdie on that too.
What you
and
got?
this isn't from Coach Doug Christie. I don't because I talked.
You don't want to out him.
Yeah, but I did find this out last week, and I haven't told. We're gonna have to. I don't think the Kings might not want to announce this, but somebody is decent is playing on the summer league team. And when I say decent, it's someone I wasn't expecting. We talk about that down the road a little bit.
Nah, you can't. You gotta tell us
This
that.
is called a tease, baby. It's a tease.
Hey, who could it be? Somebody decent.
Yeah, someone that's on the big club.
Keon Ellis?
I can't tell you, brother. I'm just saying.
You'll tell me
someone
all-
on the big
All
club.
right, tell
We'll
us
tease
now.
it. Yeah, but I don't want to interrupt your conversation. Continue your conversation.
It's all right.
please.
It's that horse has left the barn.
No, it's not. I see the horse right next to you.
I see how you're doing it, Jay. You're like, look, guys, I got this information, but I'm not going to tell you what it is.
Sure
Come
ain't.
on, bro. He said, sure ain't. Off camera, off mic?
Oh, no, we'll
In
talk
the
about it
commercial
today
break?
during the show.
Oh, all
Absolutely.
right. Oh,
but you
today
got to
during
stick
the
with the
show.
drive guys to get that info.
Okay, all right. I can't wait. I can't wait. I tell you what, though. Here's my question regarding the Summer League. Which team do you send to Chase Center, and which team do you keep here?
Whoever this player is Jay's talking about, he better play
He better
here.
hit right. The A team got to be here in Sacramento,
course.
right?
Yes.
You got to
Yeah.
have your best here,
Mhm.
like because you want to draw your crowd and everything like that, right?
Right.
Yeah, and then the B guys, no offense to them, they go to the Chase Center.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Summer League B team. That's
Isn't that weird though? That you
Yes.
got competing summer leagues right down the road?
Yeah, well, it's supposed to be kind of one thing. We were talking about this yesterday. I don't know if you've seen the NBA release, but the NBA official release almost makes it sound like, oh, it's a California Classic, and you got one building, you got the other, and you one venue, and then you go to this game.
Right.
And the other. It's like, no.
It's not Vegas where you at the Thomas and Mack and then the one next door there.
Exactly.
No. And so you can't, if you're a Kings fan, you're not driving to Chase Center to see anybody, right?
Well,
When
if you are,
Kings-
you're going to miss the game.
You're going to miss here,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It just doesn't make sense at all, man.
Mhm. Yeah, it was a little confusing
Yeah.
for us yesterday, getting through that.
We'll
But
be
yeah.
there though.
Yeah.
We'll be checking out.
We'll be here,
here,
right?
here in Sacramento.
Yeah.
Let me just say this. I know we got to get to break. I'm watching on the YouTube, and if you haven't watched on the YouTube, check it out right now. Sactown Sports 1140. Every time I look down at it, this shirt, man, is
popping.
It's popping, right?
Yeah,
It's like
it is.
everything looks nice and uniform and good. And then I look at this shirt and I'm like, dang, bro. Shout out to my daughter, Quinn. Thanks, honey.
That's very nice. Very nice. What are we going to remember the most about the playoffs that were kind of forgettable? Next on Sactown Sports.
Eric was way behind on his taxes.
I owed a lot of money to the IRS, almost $15,000. I tried to make payments.
The IRS wasn't satisfied with Eric's efforts, so they came after him full force.
They're coming to put a lien and a hold on all my income, my home, my car. I was just overwhelmed at what to do.
Then Eric called Optima Tax Relief.
When Optima Tax got involved, the calls would stop, the threats would stop. It was easy like 1, 2, 3.
Optima Tax Relief is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and their team of expert tax professionals took care of Eric's problem.
I owe $15,000, and now my debt is clean. I don't owe anything.
Take Eric's advice.
If you have a tax problem, you need to call Optima Tax now.
Call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
And paid for by America First Tax Group. Attention. If you or your business is behind in filing your tax returns, or if you owe over $10,000 in back taxes to the IRS, please listen carefully. The IRS does not joke around and will not stop their collection efforts. If you're tired of the IRS letters, levies, liens, or wage garnishments and would like to get a fresh start, we can help. Due to the financial hardships in the country, the IRS is making it easier than ever to settle tax problems for those who owe more than $10,000. We can help settle your delinquent tax problems, end all collections, and may even reduce your back taxes significantly. Even if you can't afford to pay your back taxes, you can still get the help you need. We've helped thousands of taxpayers just like you. But you must call 800-257-0663 today to stop your tax problem from getting worse. The information is free and the help is real. Call 800-257-0663. That's 800-257-0663. Again, 800-257-0663.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for my good friends at American Energy. Now, I've told you this before, but this is what we call extending a good deal. Right now, American Energy Heat and Air is offering an HVAC diagnostic for $99. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Never mind. They're offering it free. It's a $99 value, but you get it for $0. Let the American Energy team test your system connections and all the moving parts of that system to ensure that it's functioning properly. Now, this is a limited time offer. Call today to schedule your appointment at 916-520-9990. Speak to the company that has an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau that's been making the greater Sacramento area proud since 1981. 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Welcome to the Tap House Restaurant at Bartley Kavanaugh Golf Course. With an array of local craft brews from a selection of 20 taps, the Tap House menu boasts freshly made sandwiches, crisp salads, and a variety of specialty entrees. The Tap House is the perfect place for a round after your round at Bartley Kavanaugh Golf Course, especially during happy hour from 3 to 6 daily. Drop by the Tap House Restaurant for scenic views, exquisite food, and a hearty welcome. The Tap House at Bartley Kavanaugh Golf Course.
At the Good Feet store, we take pain very seriously. Whether in the foot, knee, hip, or back, Good Feet makes over 300 styles, flexibilities, and sizes of pain-relieving arch supports. With 26 bones, 30 joints, and over 100 muscles, tendons, and ligaments in each foot, a lot can go painfully wrong. So there's a trained arch support specialist at each Good Feet store to give you a precision fit. Come in for a free fitting and test walk. No appointment necessary. Good Feet arch supports are HSA, FSA eligible.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Vacaville. Online at goodfeet.com.
Giants are grown at Sutter Health Park. The Sacramento Rivercats continue to fast-track talent to San Francisco, and you have the chance to see them here in Sactown first. Your Rivercats are home now through this Sunday. Visit rivercats.com to purchase tickets. We'll see you at the ballpark.
Everyone loves to be outside, and so do mosquitoes. Protect yourself against mosquitoes and West Nile virus by following these simple tips. At least once a week, look around your yard and drain stagnant water from any containers where mosquitoes can breed. Remember to use an effective mosquito repellent, especially at dawn and dusk when mosquitoes are most active. Close all doors and be sure screens are in good working condition. At the Mosquito and Vector Control District, we're here to help. Visit us at fightthebite.net.
YouTube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Well, kind of a sad day for me. It's great that Kyle's back. It's great that we got the off season to talk about, but this is my last box score of the whole
you got
NBA
the box
season.
score.
Yeah, I got it. Last one. That's it. I don't even know what.
You going to frame that one?
I'm gonna keep it near and dear for a while. That's it. That's it for a while. Yeah, you got your Olympic box scores, Summer League. Not the same. Not the same.
Not the same, right?
Mm-hmm. Manny Too Legit on the chat
Our
says
guy.
Thing he appreciates about the Mavericks is they weren't even in the playoffs last year. This year they make it to the finals, and he says that's what the Kings have to do. Not easy to do, but yeah, that's the goal.
So the Mavs are the blueprint now for us?
Maybe.
Is that what we're saying? Is that what Manny Too Legit is saying?
We got to do whatever they did.
You know what it is, though, Whitey, to Manny's point and to what you're talking about? The Mavs went for it. The Mavs were a different team pre-trade deadline, post-trade deadline.
Mm-hmm.
They saw an opportunity to go for it. Here's the thing, too. We can't use the West being difficult as an excuse to be patient. oh, let's just wait, maybe when the West. No, you never know what's going to happen. Nobody thought Denver was going to get bounced as early as they did, but they did. Nobody thought the Mavs would get all the way to the finals. We knew they were good, but they were like the 4th or 5th best team in the West. And so when it's your opportunity, you have to go for it. And if I'm the Sacramento Kings, if I'm Monty, Vivek, the whole crew over there, I look at Domas and Fox, their prime being right now, Whitey, not 2-3 years from now, right now. Why do we have to wait until De'Aaron Fox is 28, 29? Why not have 5 years of sustained excellence?
The problem is if you wait, because you're waiting for the teams ahead of you to start to decline, you got all those younger teams, not younger than you, but youngish teams behind you that are, by then they'll be ready. All right, now it's our time.
Do we really? And it's okay if we do, but do we really want to see Wemby in his prime?
I do not. Well, I mean,
we could.
I don't want to have to compete against them. I'm anxious to see what it's like.
But that's what you're talking about. It's like, all right, let's wait for these other teams. But then you got Houston coming up. You got Memphis. Exactly. San Antonio. I say you go for it right now. Position yourself to make a run when it matters the most, the playoffs. We can't be in no 9-10 game next year. That can't happen. That's unacceptable.
No more middle ground.
And let me say this as we come up at the 3 o'clock hour here in about 10 minutes. And I was thinking this yesterday as the Celtics were winning the championship. One of the things that the Celtics, I applaud.
Was that just a time check you did, by the way?
I did that. You like that, right? Yeah. I'm learning this radio gig. Do we do that in radio? I don't know.
Not so
I don't
much
know if that's
anymore,
a radio thing, but we used to, right? We used to back in the day. But the thing about the Celtics, and I started it with that organization back in 2009. From day one, it's been all about winning a championship. Banner number 18. Every move they made from the top ownership down to concessions was built towards competing for a championship. And that's how we have to be. We shouldn't be happy with playing 6 seed. No. If we want to be champions, Whitey, we have to act like champions and think like champions and think that we belong on that stage. Mm-hmm. We don't need to have a little brother complex anymore, Sacramento. We are a big dog and we need to act like it. So when people say, well, Zach LaVine is $100 and something million, or we need to be patient, slow play it. Name me one team that has been patient. I don't think the Celtics have been patient. Here's why. Tatum and Brown have been there. The Celtics have had 4 iterations. They had the Kyrie era, Tatum and Brown. They had the Kemba Walker era, Tatum and Brown. They had, did I say Isaiah Thomas? No, and now they have the Porzingis. Like, they've had 4 iterations, 4 teams where they've tinkered and messed around until they finally get it right. That's how we have to be.
But we don't have that same core necessarily. That's one of the things
Domas
we don't talk about enough. Yeah.
Fox and my boy Keegan Murray?
Well, he's not there yet. You hope he's there. Domas, probably there's not a lot more room for him to get better. De'Aaron Fox, as good as he's been the last 2 years, he has to be better. That may not be fair, but
they got to get there. Yeah.
He has to be better for them to get where they want to get to.
I 100% agree. And
it's not fair at all, but it's a fact of the matter.
But let me ask you this, and that's one thing I've seen from Tatum and Brown. The drive to be great has never been questioned with those two, especially Jaylen Brown. Like, Tatum is just guy giving. Tatum is just has been amazing, but Brown has worked on his game, and you can see his improvement. I need to see Fox's improvement, to your point. I need to see Domantas Sabonis improvement, because this level of play that we saw, it's good. But if you're talking Jaylen Brown, the Finals MVP, Whitey, Eastern Conference Finals MVP, the Larry Bird Trophy Award winner, the narrative now is Jaylen Brown better than Jason Tatum? If that's a real discussion, isn't Jason Tatum a top 10 player in the league?
Mm-hmm.
So are you telling me that now Jaylen Brown is a top? They got 2 top 10 players.
Exactly.
Like, come on.
Exactly.
And so
they almost did break that up about
a couple years ago.
Yeah,
I,
close.
I remember a couple years ago.
You were there,
I did. And I filled in last year, and I thought, man, if we could somehow get a Jaylen Brown, because they had just lost to Miami, but they stayed the course.
Mm-hmm.
Our guys, if I'm Fox, if I'm Domas, I'm looking at it and saying, you know what, we had great years, but we got to be even better.
I have to hand it to the Mavericks. I knew they were frauds. I didn't know it would take them this long before we found out, yep, they're just like the Cowboys. So I give credit.
Ouch.
They kept it from us for this long. Good for them. But I do think, all kidding aside, when we look back on the playoffs, my guess is years from now, we look back on these playoffs, which right now seem a little disappointing because we had so many short series. I think we're going to look back on this as the beginning of a Boston run. Dynasty, I'm not going to use. They're capable of winning next year. Beyond that, I don't know. They're an excellent team, and I think we're going to look back on this as, that's when that great team finally came together.
I think so. But here's the thing, and I agree, they have the potential to do it. But you know what fueled them this year? All the heartbreaks of years past.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it's hard, and this is why the Warriors were so great, the Kobe, Shaq, Lakers, Magic and those guys, Bird. Like, when you win one, do you have the same hunger and desire to win 2? Look at Denver. As great as they were, they slipped up.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to win 2, 3, 4 in a row or at 4 and 5 years. That's what made the Warriors. And let's not forget, the Warriors dynasty, they won one, then lost, and then they added Kevin Durant.
Yeah, they never won 3 in a row.
They never won 3 in a row, which is crazy.
But they did.
Like, and the only time they won 2 in a row, they had Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
Like, and so I look at the Celtics and I say, all right, if Philly is, if Embiid's healthy, Tyrese
they're going to get Paul George.
and Paul George. Did you see that Joel Embiid video too?
No,
when he was on at halftime or pregame. I got to show you that in the break. But I also look at Milwaukee. I look at a healthy Knicks team. Like the Celtics, their path was easy to the finals, and then they faced a Mavs team that had no match for them. I thought when you look at the East, the Sixers had a chance if healthy. Milwaukee, if healthy, had a chance. So I'm not ready to give Tatum and Brown 2 or 3 more titles or anything like. I think the East is tough, man, at the top.
Who's the Bucks GM right now?
John Horst.
Okay, he should get a ring.
He should get a ring.
Yeah.
It's the worst trade ever. He handed them Drew Holiday. And I know people say, well, Portland actually, no. Like, that single-handedly changed the East, in my opinion, Whitey. Because here's the thing. When you look at the Celtics and they trade away Marcus Smart to get Kristaps Porzingis, who's your tough, hard-nosed floor general? Derek White's good. He's great. But Drew Holiday makes winning plays like Marcus Smart, but doesn't make the mistakes in clutch time. The fact that Drew Holiday went to the Celtics, if you're John Horst and you look at that trade, you have to regret that, right?
It was over.
You have to.
When that trade was made,
it was
done.
A wrap. They got Drew freaking Holiday.
2 more Kings have popped up on the Athletics tiers list. Is that good news or bad? We'll share it with you next on Sactown Sports. Drive, guys.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729. Or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Keep your family cool and comfortable this summer with Bell Brothers' best summer ever financing events. When you replace your AC system, we're offering 0 payments, 0 interest for 6 months on approved credit, then low fixed rate thereafter. That's right, 0 payments, 0 interest for 6 months on any new AC system. It's an incredible offer on an incredible new AC system, but only for a limited time. This offer is also available on any plumbing, water heater, or insulation projects over $1,000. So call Bell Brothers now. Your family will thank you because they'll be cool and comfortable. But you have to hurry. Our offer for 0 payment, 0 interest for 6 months, then low fixed rate thereafter ends soon. Estimates and second opinions are free. So call now to keep your family cool and comfortable during Bell Brothers' best summer ever event. Our number is 916-444-1234 or find us online at theNoSurpriseGuys.com. That's theNoSurpriseGuys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers. Thunder, feel the thunder.
It ignites something inside of you.
Lightning and the thunder.
Sets alight an elevated state of being. Days are pure exhilaration. And the nights, they're simply electric. See it, hear it, feel it.
Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Kyle Draper from Mercedes-Benz of Stockton, and they have a special deal going right now just for you. Receive your first month's payment up to $1,500 on them on select new 2024 GLE vehicles or the all-new E-Class now at Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. Rates begin at 1.99% APR on select certified pre-owned Mercedes-Benz. Plus, you can always check out their other deals at mbofstockton.com or head on down I-5 to Mercedes-Benz of Stockton.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your new home for 49ers football in the 916.
Sactown Sports.
Picture me rolling.
Only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sactown Sports.
The big news is Kyle Draper is back.
Yes, sir.
His Father's Day shirt that his daughter gave him. And she had the matching dress. Very nice. Where can we see those pictures?
I put this on my IG page.
Nice.
Go check it out right now. I'm trying to get my followers up, Whitey. I don't know if you follow. Are you on IG, big fella?
Barely.
Yeah, because I don't think you follow me. I see how it is. But Kyle Draper TV on Instagram, man. It's it's one of my favorite pictures, dude. Like, and the thing I love about this picture, my daughter's smile, man. She's so happy and so proud to be wearing it with me. Mm-hmm. I said, I got to wear it today. I got to sport it today for the show.
Did you wear it on vacation together?
No, it didn't come in time.
Oh, okay.
It came the next later that morning. We had already taken off.
Gotcha.
So she was super bummed, and so I said, "Don't worry, honey. When we get home, it'll be there." And so we unboxed it last night, and wearing it today. Dude. I think the tag might still be on, but oh well.
Yeah.
So
Drapes is back. He's not as excited as I thought he'd be over the report today from Action Network's Matt Moore that the Kings, quote, are known to have had calls with Chicago involving Zach LaVine and Alex Caruso, and that the Kings are expected to renew conversations with Washington for Kyle Kuzma. These are the things we've been talking about. And we keep going round and round on the possibilities, and we keep coming back to those two guys, right? Because it seems like of all the possibilities, that's the most logical. And here, according to this report, here they are. The Kings are pursuing not just one, but both. Both options.
Right. And we got to give Monty, some leeway here. I don't think he's just sitting back, sitting on his hands, happy with where things are. We're not going to make any moves. I think he's trying, and he sees what we all see. This team needs to be better. Now, it does take two to tango, and so hopefully he gets something done. I think, if you could somehow pry Caruso and Zach LaVine, that would be a major score for the Kings, because Caruso is the kind of player we need, Whitey, that his impact doesn't show up in your box score, big fella. He does. Okay.
Well, yes, it does. If the other team doesn't score as many points because he's playing, that'll show up.
What? Why
don't you dare fill my box
you
score.
look like you take it personal when I bring.
This is my last box score of the year, and you're making fun of it.
But I'm saying all right, how about this? His impact is greater than what we see in the box score. It's not just that. It's the winning plays.
If you know your way around a box
right.
score, it's in there.
You can find it.
I get your
point.
So
when he takes charges, stuff like that, late game steals a la Drew Holiday, late game stops. We saw it against Chicago earlier this season. Caruso was a menace against us. There was a reason why the Bulls nearly won that game. It was a tough game, and we needed 40-something points from De'Aaron Fox. Caruso is a game changer. If we could somehow pry him away, that would be a huge win for Monty McNair.
I thought it was very interesting what you said earlier about how if the Kings go ahead with these plans and it's not all within their control, as you said, the other team has to want to participate. But if they do go ahead and they send out parts, matching salaries, they bring in LaVine, maybe some draft capital, do something similar for Kuzma, then they're going to be essentially Sabonis and Fox and those two guys, and everything else is kind of rebuilt on the fly.
Yeah, and throw Keegan in there too.
Yeah, exactly.
Our boy Keegan. Yeah. But yes, and that's your team basically. But then also, hopefully you use that mid-level to get somebody as well.
Yes, and the
biannual exception. You love that BAE. You're a big biannual.
MLE better.
Oh, you like the MLE guy?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, so that's a way you rebuild your team on the fly. And then, maybe you sign some vet minimum guys, something like that too. But, here's the thing, Whitey. I will say this. And we've talked about upgrading the talent, and we can all agree on that. But the most talented team doesn't always win the championship. And people will say, well, look at all the talent Boston has. They've had talent before in the past. They've had Kyrie and Gordon Hayward. They've had Kemba Walker, Isaiah Thomas. But you got to have the right kind of talent. You got to have the moxie, the mojo, the intestinal fortitude, if you will. And so if we go out there and get Kuzma, LaVine, that's great and all, and that will upgrade the talent. But we also need some guys with some dog in them too. And so that's, I need, I think when you look at it, as great as Jokic is, Jamal Murray, they don't win without KCP and Aaron Gordon, a couple of dogs. As great as Tatum and Brown are, they don't win without Drew Holiday and Derek White. As great as Sabonis and Fox are, we don't win without some supporting members that can help us out on any given night.
Looking at the Athletics tiers list.
This is out already?
It came out. Yeah, and this is top 125, but rather than rank them 1 through 125, they have tiers. Yesterday was tier 5, and Keegan was in there. So today, tier 4 came out.
Yeah.
In tier 4, you've got Malik is in there and also Domas. So it's interesting, though.
Interesting.
Yeah, because you've got a number of guys in this class that we've been talking about. For example, Brandon Ingram is a tier 4. DeJounte Murray is in there. Yeah. And let's see. Zach LaVine is in there. And I think our guy from Portland is Alex Caruso is in there.
Oh, Caruso.
Yeah. And I thought Jeremy Grant was in there somewhere. Maybe he was tier 5. So my question is that good or bad? Because wow, there's a couple Kings, but they're all in the back.
Yeah,
that's 3 of them. And there's not going to be anybody else in the list except De'Aaron. whether he's going to be 3, 2, or 1. So you don't have a ton of talent there relative to the rest of the league.
Yeah.
But if you can add a couple of tier 4 guys, you're still so much better than you were.
Right.
And that's kind of what they were 2 years ago, right? Harrison Barnes and Kevin Huerter 2 years ago, they were top 125 in the league.
Yeah. So let me ask you, they don't list the actual numbers, right? Like 31, 32, 33. This is just tiers.
Right. They do go 4A, 4B, and 4C. So you got Domas is, bear with me here, Domas is up here at 4A. Yeah. And then Malik is a little ways down here. He's further down 4C, but they're tier 4. And again, my point is, okay, De'Aaron will be in there at either 3, 2, or 1. But other than this bunch, he's going to be the only guy left in your list in the top 3 tiers of the NBA.
Yeah, this list is kind of surprising. Now, like, you got a lot of really good players in tier 4.
Mhm.
Like, if who's in tier 1, 2, and 3? If Domas, who was 3rd team All NBA, let's not forget that, isn't even in the 1st, 2nd, or 3rd tier, and we all agree he's not a 1st tier guy. But should he at least be a 2nd or 3rd? It doesn't.
There's not
make sense.
there's not the same number of players in each tier either.
Yeah.
So 1, 2, and 3 could be really small. I mean, tier 1 will be super small.
Can you go back to 4A for me?
Yeah,
because I just want to see this here.
From the Athletic once again.
Athletic, yeah.
And I apologize, I throw it over here for you, but then the camera, we won't be on the camera.
Yeah, we won't be. So they got. I don't like this list. I don't like who else is in tier 4 with Domas 4A.
4A, you got Beal, Jaren Jackson Jr., Mikal Bridges, Mobley, Desmond Bain, Aaron Gordon, Julius Randle, Scotty Barnes, Cat, Miles Turner, Josh Hart, Derek Lively.
What is this based on, Whitey? This doesn't make sense to me, and I'm not trying to, shoot it down.
No,
but
it's fine.
Is Domantas Sabonis in the same tier as Derek Lively?
You wouldn't think so,
right? Like, is that what we're saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Elite
snap!
Tier 4A, elite role players.
They called our boy an elite role player.
Be a star in your role is tier 4A, elite role players. So this is not the most favorable view of Domantas Sabonis.
It doesn't make sense to me because what's tier 3 then? Next superstars or something? Then
we'll find out.
We'll find out tomorrow.
Or I will. Sounds like you're not going to bother.
I don't think I'm gonna have to open up my athletic subscription that I got from my boys out in Boston. They hooked me up. I got the free subscription, but I just don't like the players listed in tier 4A. Is Bradley Beal an elite role player at this stage of his career?
Mm-hmm.
I think they also had Miles Turner on that. Is Miles Turner and Domantas Sabonis the same caliber player? It doesn't make sense. So I don't know. So when you ask, is that good or bad? I think that's bad.
Mm-hmm.
I think
it's true.
If it's true. If it's true, if Domantas Sabonis is Bradley Beal, Derek Lively, and Miles Turner, then we in some trouble. Like those guys are like 4th options on championship teams, not 1 or 2 or 3.
Yeah, that's how the Kings are perceived. Doesn't mean it's accurate.
Right, exactly.
When we come back, there's been a lot of talk, Drapes, last few days about the Kings' leadership questions. I'll tell you why I think they're massively overblown when we come back. Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
The best things in life, they come in twos. 2 scoops of ice cream, 2 tacos. And now for a limited time, get our best deal of the year. Buy any phone when you switch to Consumer Cellular and get 2 months of service free. That's right, the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage as Big Wireless, now with 2 months free. Proof the best things in life really do come in twos. Visit consumercellular.com or call 1-888-FREEDOM. 2nd and 3rd month of monthly base service fee waived for new customers with the purchase of a phone and activation by July 31st, 2024. Taxes, fees, and third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
This is the story of the one. As head of maintenance at a concert hall, he knows the show must always go on. That's why he works behind the scenes, ensuring every light is working, the HVAC is humming, and his facility shines. With Grainger's supplies and solutions for every challenge he faces, plus 24/7 customer support, his venue never misses a beat. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Taste on a whole new level at Sky River Casino in Elk Grove. Enjoy the height of hospitality, whether you're craving an upscale steakhouse, authentic Chinese hot pot and dim sum, or having a refreshing beverage while watching the game. Visit skyriver.com today. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
And local. Every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
Heads up, Drace. We got Vic Tafer, bottom of the hour from The Athletic. Speaking of The Athletic, and we're going to talk to Vic, among other things, about the NFL over-unders that he had last week. He had first look at which ones he thinks are worthy of your time. Not real high on a certain team from Pennsylvania in the NFC. Just so you know.
I'm not worried about Vic, man. Vic can have his
He does
picks,
really
man.
well at these typically.
Does he really?
I think he's also going under on the 49ers.
Really?
Yeah.
I want to see who he's high on. Can't wait to check this out.
Mm-hmm. So that's coming up bottom of the hour with the Drive Guys, Vic Tafer. And then let's see. We're also talking 5 o'clock to Tristy Rodriguez.
Yeah,
NBC
NBC Sports.
She was Jay's co-host for the JaVale McGee softball game.
Exactly. And I missed out on that, and I didn't hear exactly how that went, Jay.
Jay crushed it.
Did he really?
Yes.
Yeah, you know, I'm just I had to.
He tried to be modest back there and let us.
Well, you know, I could do my Kyle Draper, or I shouldn't even drip my J. But at the same time, no, it was a great event, man. Great situation. Like I said, and we'll talk to Tristy, who was my counterpart, of course, my counterpart MC. We went out there and did what we were supposed to do. It sounds like everybody really enjoyed it. A lot of people definitely came up to me and told me how much they enjoyed it, entertaining, pushing the narrative. And one thing we do, fellas, is this, and this is something I was just telling somebody else, is when you're in this business, a lot of what we have to do, and Drapes, you know this to a certain extent, it's already scripted for us. Like, you know, you have cues, there's certain things you do. The great part is when you have events like that where everything is loose.
Yeah.
And you can kind of do what you do and be who you are and show who you are, you know, because as much as we are ourselves right here, you know, our conversations sometimes are 10 times better off of the mic because we can say things that we can't say, you know, on air. And so I enjoy those type of events, but I have fun. I love doing that. And the one thing about it is, fellas, and you'll see this when we touch a baseball field, something just comes over me, a baseball, man. I just, you know, I'm like Floyd Mayweather. The lights pop on, and I feel good about it, man. I feel good.
So what Jay told me yesterday was, he said there are some people that came up and said, wow, you're really funny. We didn't know you could do all this. And what Jay said was, oh, yeah, well, you know, I'm just the third guy on that show. But I think what he really said to them, I think they said, we didn't know you could do that. I think he said, those two fools.
I know.
I can show you what I can do,
man,
but I never get the chance.
You know what's super, and this is the great part too, and this is I know how we making headways, fellas. Is a couple things. All the tickets that we had give away, two of the people we gave tickets to introduce themselves to me.
Okay,
like they came up to me, shook their hands, whatever. Super love. Then other people started coming up to me, you know, because you introduce yourself, you got to be affiliated with something. And so people start knowing me as that. Of course, all of the celebrities and participants in the game, you know, we're interviewing and having fun and people cracking jokes. I'm messing with Chris Haynes about sources and all this type of stuff. But people coming up to me and was like, dude, I love your guys' show. It's fun.
Okay.
You know, it's real fun. It's loose. It doesn't feel as if it's scripted a lot. It doesn't feel as if, you know, we're trying. It's just natural. On the couch, fellas talking, people talking.
Yeah. Oh, I'm glad they said that to you, Jay.
It's scripted over there, right? So you got the laugh track out there.
Right. And this is how you know people are listening. Like, you know, you can pay attention is because they point to something on the show.
Yeah.
Did you get any Kirkland references?
No Kirkland references.
You know what?
No
That
Kirkland
happens a lot.
Let me shout
That
out
is true.
Noah from West Sac, who texted in, Drapes, did you play golf? If so, do they sell Kirkland in Mexico? Like, funny story.
El Kirklando.
I did play golf.
Really?
Yes. I played golf at
Did Nick play?
Palmia. Yep.
Okay.
Nick played with me. This was a Father's Day thing. We did about 12 holes. And we found a Kirkland golf ball on the course.
Y'all lying.
And I threw it to my daughter. I'm like, Quinn, check out this golf ball. She picked it up. It said Kirkland. She went, boo, boo. And she just threw it in the bushes somewhere. So
I'm trying to get that endorsement.
What's funny is they got a Costco right in Cabo. I didn't know. And so,
Cabo
yes.
Costco, sure.
Cabo Costco, yeah. And so we drove by and we were like, oh, my God. And so, dude, we should get an endorsement. Like unlimited golf balls.
Sure.
We should do a test.
And the gear and the clubs and
Right.
everything.
Honestly, fellas, would you play with them?
I would, because
Yeah.
it doesn't make
Doesn't no difference for you. Your game is your game.
I don't know, man. I need to do the test.
Drape's top flight Kirkland, ball.
I can't do it.
And clubs.
I can't. I don't know if I could do it, man.
Uh-huh.
I'm a snob. Like
It's a multi-piece ball. It's a quality ball.
You know why, fellas? Because when you're bad at golf, at least for me, I don't want any excuses. I want to know that it's operator error and what I need to work on. I don't want to be like, this ball is trash, or these clubs aren't,
You're going to say that anyway.
I need to top of the line. I need to know it's operator error. And so that's why I could never do it. I don't think
Do you do that now?
Yes.
You put it on yourself before you put it on equipment.
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, I went and golfed. This is in Vegas a few years ago. Had rental clubs, played terrible.
Oh, that's really hard.
So from that moment on, I say I take my clubs wherever I go because I don't want the excuse, even in my head, that it's the rental clubs.
Yeah,
that's making
really
me bad.
hard.
I need to know it's me being bad.
Explain this to me as someone that doesn't play golf. When you and Whitey, you said it's super quick. Beside the fact that these things are custom fit to your play and height and all that, I get that part. But you can give me any bat, I'm gonna be able to hit the ball. What's the problem with rental?
Like you said,
clubs?
the swing.
Okay,
it's built for your swing. The swing angle, the angle at your
shaft.
When you make contact with the ball, things like that. So if it's different than what you're used to,
so
it's a struggle.
Okay, so wait a minute. You mean to tell me? And please correct me if I'm wrong. The shaft on a golf club is the actual, like the bottom part of it, right?
The shaft
is
the
long,
pole.
yeah,
The face, the club
That's
face,
the face, okay.
might be at a different angle relative to the shaft.
What kind of flex you have on it and everything.
Oh, so they got different types of shaft in the form of flex versus stiff.
Yeah,
versus,
yeah.
They'll put like
Forgiving.
a tape on the bottom of your club. The what is that? The bottom of the club face. Sorry, I can't think of the term. And then you swing, and they see where it rubs on the club on the bottom.
Right.
Toe of the club, I guess it is.
On the ball, like where
it hits the ground.
Oh,
and then
gotcha.
From that, they're
Okay.
like, all right, well, this should be this angle, whatever. So
then you start to bend the club face inward, outward. Or,
How hard you
different
swing,
degrees.
all
Yeah.
that, you know? Our boy Campio says the average golfer will not notice in golf balls. Kirkland ball will be fine with 85% of all golfers. I don't buy that, Campio.
I'm in.
You trying to get
Whitey
that
Gleason
deal
for Kirkland.
You're trying to get
Did you
that
know
deal.
85% of golfers, it doesn't matter what golf ball they use. That's why I use the Kirkland one.
Dog, you can't get a Costco endorsement with me sitting here. Like, I'm like holding you down right now. They be like, what?
You're dead weight.
Yeah, I know,
Drapes is dead weight.
But I would. So why not play top flight then, Campio? Why don't we all play top flight? Certain balls react differently to certain swings too, certain conditions.
Well, you're in the top 15%.
I want a low spin ball. Like, because, my problem is if I have a little slice, I want a little more forgiveness on my spin rate. And so I think it's totally different.
All right.
Campio.
So wait a minute. And I know we might as well chalk this up to golf game. Here,
Yeah,
right?
this
Before it I thought golf spin means when it hits the ground and kicks. Spinning in the air is actually something that people pay attention to as well.
Jay.
Yeah, this is a hobby.
No.
Straight hobby.
Dude, this is analytics, big fella. This is sports. This is what we do.
Sports science.
Sports science. Yeah. You can't have sports science with a hobby, bro. This is like high level sports we're talking here. All that matters, dude. All that matters.
So what type of ball do you play with? Low spin rate ball.
I play with a Titleist Tour Soft. A little softer. A little softer when it hits.
Touch.
Yeah, a little more touch, won't hit the ground and go, or a Tour Speed, I'll play one of those two. It's not the Pro V1s, the top of the tops.
Sure.
It's the middle, the middle ground, solid ones.
And what do you swing?
Clubs,
Yeah.
TaylorMade. I'm a
TaylorMade.
TaylorMade guy. Yeah.
All right. And
With
why
a ping
TaylorMade?
driver? No, it's because my boy Tom Morton over at Hagen Oaks, we tested my swing out, and I'll be honest, I probably need to upgrade. I got new clubs about 2-3 years ago. I probably need to upgrade because my swing is different now.
You ever tried the Kirkland driver?
No, I don't know if they carry that at Hagen Oaks. I don't know
They
if that's
should.
on the shelves out
I need
there.
to call. I need to reach out to the Morton family and see if we can get Kirkland up over that way.
I need to check it out, man. I'm gonna go. We need to get out there, get Jay swinging some clubs,
Wouldn't happen.
so he
hitter,
can feel.
big hitter, Jay.
No, it wouldn't happen.
Jay,
It's just not.
have you
for
ever
me, man.
tried it?
I've been on the driving range. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jay, the softball days ain't gonna last forever. Big
And then
fella.
I'm out big time.
You done?
I'm
huh?
just
You
out.
Just on the
I'm
couch.
just coaching. Yeah. I'm
Okay.
not on the couch. I just get a little workout in, jog, hit
Mm-hmm.
the Peloton, that type of situation. I'm out.
Let me try this real quick. Slide this in because I don't think it's going to be popular,
slide
so I
it.
don't want to spend a lot of time on it. I think my views are going to be. I think I'm going to be heckled for it. The Kings leadership question. There's been a lot of talk since JaVale was in here. Remember, JaVale said, "Oh, when we beat the Spurs, everyone was happy." And what did he say? He said, "I had to tell them they shouldn't be happy." JaVale was just on with Deuce and Mo, and he was talking about Keegan. He needs to. He's all he is basketball. Needs to get out. Be with the guys more. And we've heard talk about, the team needs a more vocal leader. I think some of that is overblown. And to be honest, and I don't blame him, I'm not accusing anybody of anything. JaVale McGee is talking about, we need a guy like me. That's what he's saying. Because
we need dogs.
He wants to keep playing. And a lot of the talk is we need that kind of that leadership off the court. And that's what he wants to bring. I
Right,
think some
right.
of that, I'm not saying it's not true, but some of it, the reason he keeps beating that drum is
Oh, he want a deal, you think?
He wants to be on the team. And I still think talent is a bigger issue than that, but I know that is important.
That is important. And you have guys on the back end of your bench who rarely get in the game, but they still provide something. When you look at certain teams, they got a bunch of young guys. Some teams have a bunch of veterans, too, on the back end of their bench. We look at Udonis Haslem for 20 years in Miami. I do think, and we heard Mike Brown talk about JaVale, his value during the season. Mike Brown at times credited JaVale, who didn't even play a minute, with helping the team get the win. And so, JaVale might be trying to get a new deal or something like that, but I don't mind veteran guys. And I think that's the problem with the NBA a lot of times too. It's such a young league. You don't have some of these veterans on the back end of the bench really coaching up and mentoring some of these young players.
Yeah, and in all fairness to JaVale, we just had a cut yesterday from Leandro Barbosa talking to Monty Poole, and he said, that we relaxed a little bit last year. So it wasn't, JaVale's not the only one saying it. He said, we needed a different mindset.
Yeah.
So there is an issue there, but I think talent will address a lot of that. Vic Tafer is going to join us. Why is he so down on Draper's Eagles?
Yeah, I got to holler at him.
We'll
about
find
that,
out next on Sactown Sports.
The light is fading, your hands are sore, and the last tool has been put away. Now is the time to feel the satisfaction that comes with a job well done. But when you get your tools from Harbor Freight, something about the job feels a little different. Your wallet. Because we believe that everyone deserves hardworking tools at hardworking prices. And that's what we have here. So, whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
Ooh, I'm so ready for this weekend away with my girls.
Hey, hit the road. How about some free gas?
Free gas? How?
Try new Febreze car for some serious freshness and you can win gas for a full year. Visit Febreze.com to learn more.
Say less.
You may not win, but you're going to have a fresh smelling whip.
Thanks, DJ Fresh. Now how about some music?
Hey, yo, this next one goes out to new Febreze car for giving you a chance to win free gas.
La 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 la.
No purchase necessary. Must be 18 to enter in 73124 for rules and how to enter. Visit Febreze.com.
Since 1776, July 4th has been celebrated as the birth of American independence, but it's been a federal holiday only since 1941. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. It was a mere 7 years later when the Keys family opened their first Naturewood store in Sacramento, and I guess Northern Californians have been celebrating ever since. We celebrate an incredible selection of furniture brands made right here in America. We celebrate the kind of generous hometown hospitality that was important to Walter Keys in 1948 and continues with the Keys family and the Naturewood Home Furnishing staff today. And we celebrate the kind of quality that's been synonymous with Naturewood for all these 76 years. Look for Made in America brands like Stanton, Sam Moore, Stickley, Hilltop Hickory, Simply Amish, and more during the Naturewood 4th of July sale event. Find the furniture that you will celebrate for years to come. Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Sacramento, Dirk Bentley is coming to town.
Hey, y'all, this is Dirk Bentley.
Saturday, September 28th at Heart Health Park at Cal Expo for Country in the Park 2. And he's bringing some friends.
This is Family. Take my hand, let me make you mine.
Paige Dasha, Kelsey Hart, and more. Saturday, September 28th at Heart Health Park at Cal Expo. Get your tickets before they sell out at CITPFest.com. Brought to you by Hyatt Vacation Club and Xfinity.
Hot summer savings now at Maida Chevy with $12,000 off MSRP on every new Silverado half-ton Turbo Max in stock after rebate.
$12,000 off every Silverado LT Turbo Max at Maida Chevy with at least 5 at this price.
Hot summer savings up to $12,000 off MSRP exclusively at Maida Chevy at MaidaChevy.com. Sacramento Silverado headquarters. Together, let's drive.
Not available with special financing. We see some other offers. Must trade in 2010 model year or newer and 7124.
Made a great deal at Maida. Shop Folsom Lake Kia for special offers right now. I'm Coach Doug Christie urging you to visit my friends at Folsom Lake Kia and save big on your next new or certified pre-owned vehicle right now. Visit FolsomLakeKia.com.
Giants are grown at Sutter Health Park. The Sacramento River Cats continue to fast-track talent to San Francisco, and you have the chance to see them here in Sactown first. Your River Cats are home now through this Sunday. Visit rivercats.com to purchase tickets. We'll see you at the ballpark.
Live and local, it's The Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Now that the NBA Finals are all over, that means that won't be long before NFL camps will be open. How about that?
When?
I said it won't be
long.
All right.
July.
Hall of Fame game's coming up in July, I think.
Here's the thing, Whitey. I learned last year the season for my Eagles don't begin until January. I don't care if they go 6-0, 8-0. Your boy is not going to be talking trash.
The Eagles season by January was done.
I know. The wheels were already off. You're right about that. You're right. No, I'm actually looking forward to this NFL season. You know why? And we're going to have our boy Vic on there. The Eagles, obviously, their moves. I like the young quarterback. So I think a lot of storylines with some of these teams this year.
Yeah, Vic Tafer is one of the best football writers in the country, writes for The Athletic, senior writer. He's been covering the Raiders for years. He joins us now. How are you today, Vic?
Doing good, guys. How you doing?
Good. We really appreciate your time. I know last week you posted NFL predictions based on win-loss, over-unders. Vic, what's the biggest reason you would take the under on the 49ers at 11.5?
I just think the schedule was tough. I think there's obviously now some issues with Brandon Ayuk. I'm not sure if he's back. I just think there may be more geared towards the playoffs and actually to stacking up regular season wins.
You know, Vic, but and obviously you're great at what you do. How do you stack up the division, though? Because I look at the division and I still see it as, a division where they go 6-0, 5-1 in the division. How do you view it?
Yeah, I think the Seahawks are going to be a little better. I think they have them one of my over teams. I think Joe Smith's got a bad rap last year. There are a lot of drops. I think they have made some improvements. New coach. Defense should be better. So I think the Seahawks are better this year. I do agree the Rams, I think, may have gotten a little lucky last year. I'm not sure the Rams are back up to where they were last year. And the Cardinals, I'm not sure the Cardinals are terrible. I think the Cardinals could surprise one or two of those teams in the division at some point next year.
Vic Tafer's with us from The Athletic. One of the things I most appreciate about Vic, about your picks every week and also the over-unders you do every year, you always hold yourself accountable and you share your success rate from the previous year. How did you do last season with these?
I did pretty good. I think I was 4-2 on the best bets. I think 19-13 overall. So not bad. I think it's funny because he's obviously fans of these teams don't care what I did last year. I don't care if I was right or wrong. And Vikings fans are absolutely killing me. I had the Vikings going under. I wasn't really sold on Sam Darnold or J.J. McCarthy or the defense. And, man, it's been probably the biggest reaction I've had, like, in the last 5 years. I mean, it's like just lining up and just bringing the baseball bats to me every day. So that's all part of it. That's fun. I don't mind that.
Hey, hey, Vic, where you from originally? You a Vegas guy?
No, a Bay Area guy. I went to school at Cal. I went to high school in San Mateo. I grew up in Hayward, so I'm a Bay Area guy through and through.
All right. What was your team growing up? I'm trying to get some context here from some of your writing and some of your stuff.
It's funny because I actually was a football guy. I was a Steelers fan growing up because they were always on TV. When I was a kid, they were just getting done with their big run, so I kind of watched them all the time. And then I got stuck with them through the bad years. I got stuck with them through the Bubby Brister years, the Neil O'Donnell years, but I stayed true. And it's funny because I went to high school in San Mateo. Lynn Swan's dad was the janitor at my middle school, and his mom was the reception secretary at my high school. So I got to know my family a little bit, and so it was all good people. And so I was Steelers fans throughout my teenage years.
That's incredible. By the way, Vic, just so you know, I think what he's getting at here, Kyle is he's a Pennsylvania
I'm trying
guy,
to set him up,
but he's an Eagles guy. So I've been waiting to get to your Eagles pick, and I think that's what he's tiptoeing around.
Right. I'm just trying to get the context before we dive into your Eagles pick. What do you think of my Philadelphia Eagles?
I mean, I think last year there was pretty huge collapse. I think last year, I'm not sure that all that's going to bounce back. I think I had them with the numbers 10.5. I think I went the under at 10.5. But I mean, we sold him. Jalen Hurts. Is he really a top guy, or was last year kind of a regression where he might be more of a top 15 guy or top 12 guy than a top 5 guy?
Yeah, that's
that's
good stuff.
I'm not going to just let Vic
stuff.
Vic, here's the problem, though. The Eagles won the offseason. You have to admit, they addressed all their issues, whether it's secondary, the coordinator positions. Like, I don't see, when you say, well, Jalen Hurts, who is he? Well, last year, to me, seemed to be an outlier where things behind the scenes weren't that great. I got to feel like the wide receivers got paid, so they're happy. You got new coordinators. You got great draft picks, and you got my guy Saquon Barkley. To me, the Eagles, who started off last year 10-0, they seem to be a better team this year than last year.
I'll tell you this. Are you a big Kellen Moore guy? Because Kellen Moore is obviously coming in. They're changing the entire offense. So is that going to be, I imagine, an adjustment for some point? I'm not sure they're coming in firing week 1. And they are, it's a tough division, tough conference. So I think it'll be close. I'm not saying they're going to be like 6-11. I think they'll be probably have them at 10-7. I mean, that's under, but
10-7. That's wild card. That's
Did you hear what
pedestrian.
Vic said though? When last week, Vic, or 2 weeks ago, whenever, when the story came out that Jalen Hurts was talking about, wow, we're changing the whole offense. Jay and I were trying to tell you, ooh, that's bad news for Eagles. And you wouldn't listen.
No, because
you listen to Vic.
Because it's June. If Jalen Hurts was sounding concerned in August and September, dude, he has a whole training camp. He has mini camp. He has preseason to get up to speed, Vic.
Let's take a step further. Are you a big Nick Sirianni guy? You have total faith in Sirianni?
I say this when it comes to Sirianni. By himself, no. With Fangio and Kellen Moore, yes.
At some point, you'll think players like, I wonder what Bill Belichick might say with this team. I wonder what Bill might do. You think Bill's waiting in the wings a little bit, see what happens?
Well, I think we all agree, though, this could be Sirianni's last year.
Yeah.
If it goes sideways, you got too much talent to come up short, get bounced in the first round of the playoffs. Like, Sirianni would be the fall guy if they come up short this year.
And that could be wrong. Usually when teams collapse like they did last year, it's usually a sign of there's probably bigger issues than just talent. There's probably something going on. I don't know, people talk the culture and stuff, but who knows the culture, but there's probably some stuff that's going on, beneath the surface is not quite great as far as this team being set up for, a long run of big-time wins.
Yeah. Vic Tafer is with us from The Athletic. Vic, what teams over or under do you think is most out of whack? That is, if you were betting the best opportunity to jump on here is with what club based on these numbers?
a good question. I think there's a lot of teams that have big numbers. I think like 6 teams had over, I think 10.5, over 11.5 wins. So I think some of those teams are going to come back to earth. I think, we mentioned the Niners. I'm trying to think who else I had.
I think you had the Giants, didn't you, in there?
Yeah, that's a big reach. I mean, Giants, just because the number is so low. The numbers were it's 6. I don't love that one. It's 6.5. So I took the cheese. I just think like last year, obviously everything went wrong last year. I'm not sure. Is Brian Dable, is he a bad coach all of a sudden? He was a great coach 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think Daniel Jones is. I mean, people get mad at this, but I don't think he's terrible. I mean, you shouldn't give him $40 million, but he's not terrible. So I think there's some bounce back there for both those guys. I like Malik Neighbors, draft pick. I think their offense will, and the defense is actually pretty good. So I could see them easily winning 8 games and being over team pretty comfortably.
Yeah, I could see him finishing ahead of the Eagles, but that's
I'm not bad. We know it. Dude, Saquon might rush for 2,000 this year. I don't know what y'all talking about. Hey, Vic, let me ask you this: of the rookie quarterbacks that we're going to see this year, which one do you think is in the best position to help lead their team to an over? I guess this upcoming season.
Well, just because expectations, I might say May. I think May's in a good spot. The Patriots are they terrible? I'm not sure they're terrible. I think they're not very good, but I think I think you watch his college tape. I think there's some flashes that he can be a good NFL quarterback sooner than later. The other guys are probably in difficult situations. I think like Bo Nix. I mean, I don't know where we are in Bo Nix. Bo Nix is going to get a chance pretty early, but I'm not sure that's a good thing for me. I see a guy who's. You hate to say a college quarterback, but he's a guy who obviously runs a lot. And he can make plays with his feet and gets rid of the ball. But I'm not sure he has the arm strength to really make the throws you need to make in the NFL.
And Vic, why do you think 6.5 is a number that's an opportunity there? Why do you think that's too low for the Raiders?
I was just going to think talent-wise on defense. I think last year they finished strong with Antonio Pierce. I think they finished the 9th best defense last year in terms of the rankings. They added Christian Wilkins, who's like one of the best defensive tackles in the league. So just defensively alone, they're going to be in all these games. Again, I mean, Aiden O'Connell and Gardner Minshew, that's not the way to go. But they tried. They couldn't trade up in the draft. You kind of get stuck. And so are those guys terrible? No. But are they good? Probably not. But I think, again, the defense is good enough where you should be in a lot of these games like they were last year. I think 7-8 wins is pretty realistic.
Hey, Vic, is Aiden O'Connell the week 1 starter for them, you think?
It's a great question. I just got through watching minicamp last week, and they're both not very good. So I think as of right now, because he was the guy last year, he played 10 games last year. I think he has a leg up, but nothing to be excited about, really. Either way.
See, he's the best. That's why he's the best.
Oh,
Vic Tabor.
man.
Thank you, Vic. We appreciate it. We'll be reading your stuff, and we hope to talk to you again soon.
All right, boys. Take care.
Yeah,
All right,
thank you very much. Yeah, not high on your Eagles. This is an objective observer. You say me and Jay, we got our 49er glasses on. Vic Tabor's like, hey, that's just the way I see it, man. So,
but you got, he's a Bay Area guy too, and he was a fan of the Pittsburgh Steelers. So let's. I mean, we know where his allegiances lie. It's not with Philly.
You know what we need to do, Whitey? And I hate to do
Jay.
We're gonna have to go to Philadelphia and get a guy or two on from Philly and see.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly.
We'll see where it goes.
Yeah.
Or maybe a northeast guy or something like that. We'll figure.
What's Ross Tucker up to these days?
Yeah, get our boy Ross Tucker.
Yeah.
He'll keep it real.
When we come back, guess what? Brandon Ayuk, he ain't getting what he wants from the 49ers. When we come back, we'll explain why on Sactown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm meteorologist Heather Waldman in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Cooler Tuesday evening as the Delta breeze comes inland. Watch for some areas of smoke and haze first thing Wednesday morning. Temperatures Wednesday afternoon in the mid-80s with a mix of clouds. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA app.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With Venture X, earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy and turn everyday purchases into extraordinary trips. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges where you just check in and chill out. Open up a world of possibilities with Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
No one knows the importance of a great assist more than Lowe's and Leo Messi.
That's why we've teamed up to give MVPs Pro Rewards members 10 times the points when Messi makes an assist during CONMEBOL Copa America USA 2024. Activate this offer starting June 20th, so when Messi assists, you score. Shop the day after an assist to earn those extra points. Not an MVP's Pro Rewards member? Join today.
NBA basketball returns to Golden One Center this July 6th, 7th, and 9th for the California Classic Summer League Games. 3-day passes in the lower level start at just $66 and include access to all 6 games. See your Sacramento Kings as they host the San Antonio Spurs and Charlotte Hornets, featuring newly drafted rookies, NBA sophomores, and other athletes competing to make NBA rosters. Visit kings.com/California Classic for more information and to buy your tickets today.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at PowerCopier.com.
Nighttime is the right time to track your golf ball's flight time at the Hagen Oaks Top Tracer driving range. It's more relaxed at night with people enjoying the Top Tracer technology where you can play Pebble Beach at Hagen Oaks. You can compete against your friends in a variety of games or just practice with the Top Tracer television technology. There's food when you're hungry from the Hangout food truck, or enjoy a craft beer on the brand new patio with relaxed seating. And don't forget the summer-long free concert schedule. It's the Hagen Oaks driving range nightly until midnight, Fulton Avenue at Cap City Freeway.
At the Good Feet store, we take pain very seriously. Whether in the foot, knee, hip, or back, Good Feet makes over 300 styles, flexibilities, and sizes of pain-relieving arch supports. With 26 bones, 30 joints, and over 100 muscles, tendons, and ligaments in each foot, a lot can go painfully wrong. So there's a trained arch support specialist at each Good Feet store to give you a precision fit. Come in for a free fitting and test walk. No appointment necessary. Good Feet arch supports are HSA, FSA eligible.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Vacaville. Online at goodfeet.com.
Save on rows and rows of new Hondas during our giant summer sale at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Hurry in and save on our best selection of new Hondas. Each is priced to sell now. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop for great pricing on a giant selection of new CRVs, HRVs, Ridgeline, Civics, and Accords with low finance and lease options. Get to Folsom Lake Honda or go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Cutting knife, I've been drinking out of poison well.
The Drive Guys, live and local, every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
Oh, it's fun to talk a little football, huh? With somebody who knows what they're talking about in the great
No, Vic's entertaining. No, I'm not going to hate on Vic, even though he's wrong about the Eagles over under. What was the Niners over under? 11.5?
Yes, sir.
And he said under on that.
He did.
So he got them at 11-6 or so. Eagles at 10-7. I get it. You know, the Niners defending NFC champions. Eagles coming off a rough year. I'm not going to hate on him for that.
He did mention, when trying to evaluate how many games the 49ers are going to win, Vic mentioned, we don't know what's going on with Ayuk. Did you hear you were talking earlier about, you were talking about Instagram, but did you see what Brandon Ayuk posted to TikTok yesterday?
Let me ask you guys this, because I did see it. I didn't fully dive into it.
It doesn't make a lot of sense.
It doesn't make. And are we sure he was talking about the Niners not wanting him?
First thing Jay asked.
Right,
we don't know. Context is
like
clearly that's what he wants us to think, but we don't know if that's actually what he was talking about.
Right. It doesn't make sense. And I'm watching SportsCenter yesterday, and they're like, yeah, Ayuk says the Niners don't want him. And, are we sure that's what they were talking about?
No. We're not sure.
And fellas, this is my thing, and I know it's hard to do this, but he's in a negotiation situation, right? We know he's negotiating. We know his agent. We know his team. We know his squad is negotiating on his end. If he really believes that, or he was told that, then why not just come out and say that?
Right.
Like, why would you come out with that old cryptic type, situation? Just say, listen, the 49ers have said they do not want me. and watch how things blow up compared to
Right.
you throwing that out there. So it's like games being played, and I'm like, that's for lack of a better term, you're acting like a child with that stuff.
And if it was true, we've seen this happen for players, over the years. If a team says they don't want you, like Jay said, come out and say it. But also, we would have heard Ayuk wants a trade or something like that, or something else would have came out than just what we saw on that TikTok.
He'd been traded at draft day.
Yeah.
Matt Barrows says one of the things that I said yesterday, just, we were spitballing here. He says Ayuk is frustrated over ongoing negotiations. He's taken to social media to express that frustration. That's what I saw out of that. It's like, they tell me they don't want me. He doesn't know what else to do right now because the 49ers are drawing that line. It's like, we'll give you this much. You want that much?
Yeah.
You're not getting it. And they don't have to, because here's the thing, as again, Matt Barrows points out, San Francisco has leverage. Ayuk is already under contract for $14.1 million in 2024. The team can also franchise tag him to hold on to him beyond that.
A la T. Higgins, right?
Yeah. And his was like 21.8 or something. So it's easy for us to point out correctly that, well, the going rate right now for wide receivers of his caliber is 30, but the 49ers can say maybe, but we don't have to pay you that, and that's where it is.
Yeah, and I also wonder with this Ayuk situation, is it him or is it his agent? Like, how much of this is his agent saying, look at what these guys got, you deserve that, versus Ayuk saying, you know what, I love San Francisco, I like my time here, I want to stay here. Like, who's calling the shots? Because if 28 is the number, and we don't know if it is, to me, and I know you guys have talked about this over the last few days, 28 to me seems to be a good magical number. If they're offering 26, you want 30, the Mike Brown contract. Let's meet in the middle, 28. I don't think anybody is offended. Like, if Ayuk gets 28, he can't be offended by that, right? That's a solid, good number. And so I've changed my stance on this. The Eagles fan in me wants it to be, he's going to miss games, he's going to miss camp, but I think this gets done.
I wonder if the 49ers are thinking that too. It's like, we'll give him 28, but we'll wait. And who knows, maybe he'll cave before that, in which case we'll save the money.
Right. They might already know that.
Yeah.
To your point, they might already say, all right, we'll go up to 28, but let's see.
Maybe we won't have to.
We won't have to. Maybe he'll take 26.5 or something like that.
Chicken. But I'll tell you what, if they think that they can let this linger into the regular season like it did with Bosa last year, that was costly.
Yeah. It totally was costly, and you heard Bosa talk about how costly it was, and also
you have no margin for error. This is like you got to win. One of these years you have to win it all.
Let me ask you guys this real quick: do they need Ayuk to win the Super Bowl? How valuable is he?
Probably.
I think so too. I think Bosa was at the top of his game when he got his contract. We all understood that. Like I said before, I don't know if they view Ayuk as a true number one in the NFL sense of the word.
You've been talking to Jay, haven't you?
No, me and Jay, we both agree on that, right, Jay? Jay may not think he's enough, but for the Niners, in my opinion, he's their number one.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. And I think that's where you get all these other receivers getting number one money, and they're like, how much of that is our system making you a number one?
I agree. To that point, I think it comes down to the 49ers look at the market and they say wide receivers are getting 30. And they look at running backs. If running backs are undervalued, we'll give McCaffrey 19. He's worth that.
Yeah.
And we need a running back is worth probably more than that in our system, but a receiver ain't worth 30 no matter what other people are paying their receivers. So we are not paying him that.
Right.
Maybe the market says that's what he's worth, but he ain't worth that to us. No receiver is.
Well, and here's the thing about the Niners, and I think we've talked about it on this show before, fellas. When you look at some of the positions that they're paying, CMC, Trent Williams, guys on the deep, Bosa.
And they're going to play their quarterback.
They're top five
defensive
guys.
line.
Right.
And Kyle Shanahan's talked about that. Those are difference makers. Defensive line. quarterback, and then it goes down the list, and on their list, wide receivers way down.
receivers
Whether it should be or not,
right.
I don't know, but that's the fact of the matter.
They pay those positions they value as difference makers.
And they're already paying a lot of money to their wide receivers.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And that's why they're in the pickle now. And we're talking about, is this the last year for Debo? Is this the last year for Ayuk? Because historically, they aren't throwing, 30 million. Like, the wide receiver position is not where the money usually is.
Yeah, your guy, Matt Mayoko, even though he texted me back before he texted you, he's your guy. He writes that, they'll get Ayuk and he'll play this year, but this whole year, part of it will be about evaluating which receiver can we let go.
We keep.
That's why it's Tricky Ricky P.
Exactly.
Depends on what Tricky
They're playing
Ricky P
him
does.
at all different positions.
This guy.
And they'll figure out, okay, whose role can he assume?
And you're right. I think they paid Debo, and that part of Debo's contract or his holdout was he wanted to be paid like a H-back, as you call it. He wanted to be paid as a running back, do it all, a Swiss Army knife. And that was kind of part of the situation. But then once they got CMC, it's kind of like, we kind of got a Debo. We got a CMC, we got a Debo, so it's kind of one of those things. We have the same position, and that's why people have been saying for the longest, Debo's going to be the guy out because they have his replacement. But I think the 49ers, we've talked about this 100 times on this show, the 49ers do things differently. I could honestly see them keeping, you made a great point yesterday, White, is CMC and Debo both are injury prone. But they're interchangeable in many ways, despite the fact CMC still, he doesn't line up outside as a wide receiver, but he can. He's done it before. And so I could see them keeping Debo and saying to Ayuk, we got Tricky Ricky P here.
Yeah.
If he turns out to be something, and I said this to Whitey yesterday, Drapes, I think Ricky Pearsall looks more in the likes of a Brandon Ayuk than a Debo.
You think so?
I do. I think he's more of a traditional wide receiver.
I mean, there's very few
outside
receivers
guy,
who look like Debo.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh,
Maybe
yeah.
DJ
That is high.
Metcalf.
Yeah. I mean, come on, man.
The funny thing to me about the 49ers and their receivers, this doesn't necessarily have to do with what they're paying anybody, but they don't really want those guys, the speed threats like the Dolphins have.
Yeah.
They're not interested in those guys. The guys that blow the top off the coverage. They don't.
That's not their
possession guys, yak guys.
Yeah. They like Tyreek Hill, and those guys. They don't pursue those guys, and I think it's because part of it is they don't want their receivers getting tied up on the line of scrimmage. They want the big, stronger, rangy guys.
Yeah.
But having those speed receivers like they've had Marquise Goodwin. They've had a few in the past, but Shanahan it seems like, we just don't really need that. It's surprising to me.
They tried to draft a couple of guys that were speedsters
That's right.
and they just haven't panned out
Danny
for whatever
Gray,
reason.
right?
Danny Gray was one of the guys. Yeah.
You're right. Yeah.
It's like for whatever reason, they don't pan out or they get hurt or, I don't know. But yeah, I think they're definitely, and it kills.
When I was a kid, those are my favorite guys to watch.
Guys
Speedster,
at Jet.
huh?
Yeah.
Ronaldo Nehemiah. Guys like that. Remember that? That's a name right there.
They're looking for receivers 20 yards and in.
Yeah.
We get you the rock. Shanahan's system is 20 yards and in.
Yeah.
How many times do you see 49er wide receivers catch 60-yard bombs?
No.
Very rarely.
Very rarely.
It's 20 across the gut, a post pattern. I'm going to hit you when you're about 25 to 30 and get loose after that.
Run the pattern.
Yeah.
I'll get you open.
Yeah.
You better catch the ball. And then you're going to have to make some yards after you catch it. When we come back, Celtics are champs. But are the Mavericks the team the Kings really need to learn from and pattern themselves after? When we come right back. Drive, guys. Sactown Sports.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, Go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Get ready to fuel your spirit of adventure with Kia Vacaville Summer Sticker Sales Event. It's time to crank up the excitement, calling all thrill seekers. Are you ready for an adrenaline-packed journey? Introducing the Kia Telluride, the ultimate companion for your next adventure. Picture this: blazing trails through uncharted territories, conquering the wild with the power and precision of the Kia Telluride. With Kia Vacaville, you can join the expedition and experience the thrill of off-road exploration like never before. With its rugged design and cutting-edge features, the Kia Telluride is your passport to unforgettable adventures. Don't let this opportunity pass you by. Head to Kia Vacaville today and gear up for the adventure of a lifetime during their summer sticker sales event. Your adventure starts now. Kia Vacaville, where every journey is an adventure. Visit Kia Vacaville today. Model availability, lease options, and features may vary. Please visit Kia Vacaville for more details.
Since 1776, July 4th has been celebrated as the birth of American independence, but it's been a federal holiday only since 1941. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. It was a mere 7 years later when the Keys family opened their first Naturewood store in Sacramento. And I guess Northern Californians have been celebrating ever since. We celebrate an incredible selection of furniture brands made right here in America. We celebrate the kind of generous hometown hospitality that was important to Walter Keys in 1948 and continues with the Keys family and the Naturewood Home Furnishing staff today. And we celebrate the kind of quality that's been synonymous with Naturewood for all these 76 years. Look for made in America brands like Stanton, Sam Moore, Stickley, Hilltop Hickory, Simply Amish, and more during the Naturewood 4th of July sale event. Find the furniture that you will celebrate for years to come. Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Sacramento, Dirk Bentley is coming to town.
Hey, y'all, this is Dirk Bentley.
Saturday, September 28th at Hart Health Park at Cal Expo for Country in the Park 2. And he's bringing some friends.
This is Farley. Take my hand, let me make you mine.
Paige Dasha, Kelsey Hart, and more. Saturday, September 28th at Hart Health Park at Cal Expo. Get your tickets before they sell out at CITPfest.com. Brought to you by Hyatt Vacation Club and Xfinity.
Keep your family cool and comfortable this summer with Bell Brothers' best summer ever financing event. When you replace your AC system, we're offering 0 payments, 0 interest for 6 months on approved credit, then low fixed rate thereafter. That's right, 0 payments, 0 interest for 6 months on any new AC system. It's an incredible offer on an incredible new AC system, but only for a limited time. This offer is also available on any plumbing, water heater, or insulation projects over $1,000. So call Bell Brothers now. Your family will thank you because they'll be cool and comfortable. But you have to hurry. Our offer for 0 payment, 0 interest for 6 months, then low fixed rate thereafter ends soon. Estimates and second opinions are free. So call now to keep your family cool and comfortable during Bell Brothers' best summer ever event. Our number is 916-444-1234 or find us online at theNoSurpriseGuys.com. That's theNoSurpriseGuys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers.
KHTKAM HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports.
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sactown Sports.
Look who's back. The Boston Celtics are back as NBA champs. Kyle Draper is back with us in studio. Sactown Sports.
I tell you, man. I was watching the ending of the game and the celebrating on the streets and everything. And I'll admit, I got a little nostalgic. Like, man, those are my people. I used to run those streets, Whitey. Mm-hmm. I used to be in that sea of green back in the day. Somebody hit me up. Drapes, aren't you sad right now that you're not there? And I'm like, nah, man, I'm good, big fella. You know, people are like, see, you shouldn't have left and everything. I'm like, I am A-okay. Somebody's like, what's up, Kyle? You know, you could have been along with this ride with us if you just stayed in Boston instead of going to Sacramento, man. Bad move. I miss you here in Boston. He said, bad move. I'm like, what people don't understand, and it would be great to celebrate a title, but that's one night and that I'll remember forever. I'm living a dream every day during the season, Whitey, calling NBA games.
Yeah.
To me,
and working with me and Jay.
Yeah, that's a little aside, a little icing on the cake. How about that? Icing on the cake. And so I'm living the dream every single day with this job. And so I'm good, man. Sure, would I have liked to have been there, but I'm not crying or upset or anything like that.
We need you to settle the dispute that Jay and I had in relation to the Celtics.
Okay.
And then we'll get to what's going on with the Kings in today's reports of who they may be pursuing. I saw yesterday before the game, Cedric Maxwell came out on the court.
Yeah.
And he went out there to Tatum, who was warming up. And he's like, hey, now you know who I am? Because you heard about that.
Oh, yeah,
right?
yeah. I heard about that.
So Jason Tatum had said after game 4, I don't even know who Cedric Maxwell is. I bought it 100%. Jay said, nah, he knows. He's just kidding around. What do you think?
Oh, he definitely knows who Max is.
Why did he say that?
No, I think and I didn't hear, wasn't he referring to when he first got there? He didn't know who Max was?
Oh, I didn't think so.
Max is on the team playing.
I know.
In a hotel.
So I was thinking he knows who the guy is, but didn't know. It's like, hey. He didn't know it was Cedric Maxwell.
Everybody knows who Max is. And like, he may not have known before he got to Boston, but
because Cedric did go out there and go, hey, hello.
No,
now you know who I am.
Especially because, let's not forget, Cedric Maxwell gave him the Larry Bird trophy a couple of years ago. So he knows who Max is.
All right. You're right, Jay. You got it right.
Sarcastic.
I know he was
just being sarcastic, man.
Yeah.
All right.
Max.
Are you buying this? According to Matt Moore, Action Network, and Matt Moore's been
Hold up,
covering
time
the
out
league
for a sec. Do me a favor, White.
Years.
Do me one favor.
Yes.
Please do me a favor.
Uh-huh.
Not only me, the people at driving home from work, listening on YouTube, the app, Sactown Sports. We got to come up with a different name than the Action Network.
Well,
that seems like it's like from Ron Burgundy and Anchorman or something. The Action Network.
I know.
That doesn't seem.
I'm with you on
What
that.
is it? Hardwood Paradox or something like that too.
Well, he is the host of a popular betting podcast called Buckets.
Oh.
So they could use some help.
I'm sorry. Every time I hear the Action Network, I'm like, who's this Yahoo?
Yeah.
But I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, Buckets is the Action Network's popular NBA betting podcast.
Oh, my
you're right.
God.
He used to be, Matt Moore used to be with Hardwood Paroxysms.
Yeah.
He's been covering the league a long time.
All right.
Here's
Sorry
what he
about
says. Kings are going back to the well. They're offering Barnes and Herter and draft pick compensation. They're known to have had calls with the Bulls involving Zach LaVine and Alex Caruso. And you may say, yeah, we know that. This apparently is since the deadline.
Right.
Because he says that's what makes LaVine more attractive to them at a discounted price after his trade market value hit rock bottom at the deadline. Unless he's referring to what happened before that. Either way, the link here is that they are pursuing Zach LaVine. They're interested in Zach LaVine. After talks at the deadline, says Matt Moore, Action Network. The Kings are expected to renew conversations with Washington for Kyle Kuzma, especially with the Wizards potentially adding a front court starter in the draft later this month. Are you buying any of that?
I'm buying it. Totally buying it. I'm totally buying that the Kings are making calls on those players.
Yes.
It behooves Monte McNair to do such. We've been talking about Zach LaVine and Kyle Kuzma all offseason, last 4 months, ever since the trade deadline. And so it's a smart move to engage with those guys. I expect nothing less. If the report came out that the Kings weren't interested, I would have a problem. The fact, and then you throw in the Caruso situation.
Mm-hmm.
Caruso, to me, is a game changer, a winner. And so I applaud Monte McNair. It's clear that he's trying to get something done. And we've talked about it, and we've heard the reports about the number 13 pick, and maybe the Kings might be interested in dealing that pick. And so, yes, I do buy the Action Network.
Me too. I wonder if Action Network is hiring. I would just like to have that on my business card.
Dude, Action Network. That's why I can't take it seriously. That's just me. I'm sure they do a fantastic job. But wow.
Kings would have to part with their lottery pick in June's NBA draft, potentially future picks as well, says Mr. Action Network. And he points out that adding Zach LaVine's remaining salary $137.8 million over the next 3 years, would tie up most of Sacramento's cap space in 3 players, Fox, Levine, and Domas. And then he says that could impact Sacramento's ability to retain Keegan Murray. So again, this is if they did this, and if they did this, which it looks like they will do, then this would happen. And bottom line is, again, it gets back to Zach LaVine. We all know this. We've talked about it. It would be a huge risk to bring him in. I think we all agree right now. Right. Well, that's a risk that, given the current status in your status in the West, it's a risk that you must assume if you can reasonably do so.
Yeah, and for two reasons. One, I think Domantas Sabonis and De'Aaron Fox are in their primes right now. You don't want to waste their prime. Go for it. Put your chips on the table, push them all in, and do the moves you have to make. Now, to Matt Moore's writing there, his report, if bringing Levine in would really impact Keegan Murray going forward, that would be a shame. And I would hate for the Kings to back out on the Levine sweepstakes or somebody who's making that kind of money for, because it would impact Keegan Murray, because then that means to me, you're not willing to pay whatever it takes.
Because Keegan is your own property. Right. You drafted him so you can exceed any thresholds that you want to keep him.
And I know the finances are what they are. I don't know. But I do know, covering the Celtics, Wick Grossbeck would always say, whatever it takes to win a championship. Look at their tax bill. Look at the money they've paid over the years. It didn't matter to him. They were in pursuit of banner 18.
I know we don't like the Warriors around here, but Joe Lacob definitely did.
Joe Lacob, same thing. And it's repaid Joe Lacob back in spades. I mean, look at, the money the Warriors have, from when he first got them to where they are right now. And so if we're not at that position where we can invest and spend like that, it's a shame. And I'm not going to say, oh, we're being cheap. The finances are the finance. If you don't have the money, you don't have the money. But then to me, you can't play with the big boys. You can't be the Yankees. You can't be the Dodgers. You got to be a middle of the pack team and hope you do it through the draft, through trades, things like that, because I can't see how making a trade to bring in a guy should impact. Like, as an owner, you already got to be thinking of this, right? Don't you? Like, you already know how much Keegan Murray is going to get paid. And so if you say, no, we don't want Zach LaVine because we got to pay Keegan, it's going to be tough to win a championship.
Success, of course, breeds imitation. So if you're the Kings and you had to follow the Boston path or the Dallas path, which one should the Kings follow? Which one are they perhaps already on? We come back with that on Sactown Sports.
Hey, everybody, it's your boy Kyle Draper from Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. I can't tell you how much I love my new SUV. It is truly amazing, and I got special news just for you. Right now at Mercedes-Benz of Stockton, you can receive your first month's payment up to $1,500 on them on select new 2024 GLE vehicles. Or how about the all-new E-Class right now at Mercedes-Benz of Stockton? They have over 80 pre-owned vehicles in stock, including off-brand trucks, SUVs, and sedans. And they have rates starting at 1.99% APR on select certified pre-owned Mercedes-Benz. And Mercedes-Benz of Stockton has a Vans Fleet Center with rates starting at 4.9% APR plus customer bonus cash incentives on approved credit. Head on over to Mercedes-Benz of Stockton, just off I-5, or online at mbfstockton.com.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
The great thing about this report from Matt Moore, Action Network, if it's true, is that maybe Kings don't have to choose between Zach LaVine or Kyle Kuzma. Maybe they can have both.
That would be a dream. That would be upgrading the talent. That would be Kyle Kuzma wasn't on the D list, but I would accept him. I would take him. It's not like I'm an anti-Kuzma. He's a talented ball player. That would be fireworks this offseason for the Kings.
But which team's path to success should the Kings follow if you had to go Dallas or Boston? We'll get to that first. To the phones we go. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Ken joins us on Sactown Sports. Hello, Ken.
Hey, what's up, gentlemen? What's up, Kyle? It's been a minute since I've seen you. We got to get out on the golf course, man.
Yeah, man. Let me know.
And no doubt, man. I just wanted to mention, man, that Sacramento Kings former player sitting up front row taking that picture last night with the Boston Celtics, Q88. I just want to throw a shout out to him, man. He just sitting there proudly, man. I'm like, look at that Sacramento King, man, sitting there, man, getting his ring, man. Looking good. I just wanted to mention that, man. And he was really smiling, man. He was juiced, bro.
You not salty about that, Ken? You not salty at all?
Not really, man, because I think we should have kept him. We should have kept him. I don't know why we got rid of him, man. I'm just proud of the cat, man.
Yeah.
That's another thing that the Sacramento Kings do, man. We get rid of good players, they go somewhere else and be successful, man. You know, they stay consecutive in what they do, man. So we don't mind that, man. But I just wanted to send that shout out, man, to Q88, man, to get his ring, man.
Mia's Cada, yes, sir.
Thank you, Ken. Why did the Kings get rid of him?
I just don't think, in Mike Brown's system, they felt like he was a fit. And he played some minutes for the Celtics this season, regular season, and they loved him out there in Boston. The fan base liked him when he played. And so it's a little a shame that, it didn't work out here.
I understand what you're saying about the system. The thing that surprised me about it when it happened was that you go through his resume, college, G League, Summer League. He's a good defender. And the Kings last year, it's like that was the thing they were focusing on.
That's what we needed, right? Yeah, a big man that could defend. And for some reason, it just didn't work out.
Time for Check It with TC on Sactown Sports. What's up, TC?
TC.
Yeah, y'all got me?
We got you.
Yeah, man. Hey, don't act like this ain't your first time calling a radio station, man. You gotta be on point, player.
Hey, it's all good. So I decided to turn everything. Hey, how was your vacation, bro?
Good, man. It was lovely, man. Went to Cabo, did some snorkeling, rode a horseback on the beach, dude. I was out there, yo.
Man, look at my boy doing it big. Hey, I'm all over that trade, dog. The Bulls trade. Hey, I think that's the move, y'all. Hey, it's gonna be fireworks. Kings fans, I try to tell y'all, get ready, bro. Hey, I got us getting Zach LaVine, Caruso, and Kuzma. Hey, I really feel like Monty finna pull something out of his hat. Shout out to Cada. I'm all for that. Again, Drake. Hey, again with Keegan Murray, Whitey, and Jay in the back. If we keep worrying about Keegan and bringing players in and thinking that's going to stunt his growth, Keegan's not the guy, bro. He needs to be in a trade package like today. If we saying no to trade, if we saying no to trades like that, Keegan has to go, bro. If not, then Keegan kick back and you gonna have to ball regardless of who we get in here. Kings fans, get ready. It's fireworks coming. It's our time, y'all. Light the beam. That's all I got.
TC.
I'm with him. I think there's going to be fireworks.
You think so?
I do.
If not, then
well, he's out.
All right, TC. Cut him out.
There, I agree. There's going to be major fireworks. And here I am talking about LaVine and Kuzma, and I forgot Caruso.
That way, dog. If we get all three of those guys,
man,
they will have won the offseason.
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody else does. I don't care if Philly gets Paul George. If we get LaVine, Caruso, and Kuzma, that has dramatically changed our team, I think. Let me ask you guys this, because it's coming. The fireworks, July is 2 weeks away.
It's Monty's fireworks stand.
That's what I'm saying. He's setting up right now. He got the wood out there right now setting up. But think about this. We got the draft next week. Are we expecting fireworks next week, Whitey? Can we see it as early as next week?
That's when the fuse will be lit.
Okay.
The sparks may not come for a bit, but that's when the fuse will be lit.
All I'm asking for, fellas. I don't need none of them little smoke bombs you throw out. And they just
Joe,
At least give me a Piccolo Pete or something. I need something that's gonna make a little noise now.
You ever take a wrench and then you bend the Piccolo Pete so it explodes at the end?
No. I like you. Look at you. That's the
I
Vallejo
never did
in
it,
you. That's
but
the
I was
Vallejo
about
in
to
you.
say
I
that.
see you, baby.
That's not how it was designed to be.
That's true. But yeah,
dude, you're one of those
Get
guys.
a little cramp. Yeah.
Like I think we could see something next week, boys.
You shouldn't do that because it's not safe.
Right. The kids at home don't do that. But I think come the draft next week, we could actually see something. We could see something that night. And let me ask you guys this. If we don't, if they just make the pick, does that alarm you? Does that make you worried?
If that happens, I will, depending on what they say, I will not believe that there isn't something coming.
You will not believe?
I will not believe that there isn't something coming unless they say, look, this is the guy. We are not making a trade.
Right.
Anything short of that, and I'll be thinking, oh, yeah, I'm not going to get too attached to this guy.
Well, I bring that up because ideally you're drafting for somebody else, right?
Yeah.
And you would think you'd have the parameters of a trade done when you make the selection.
I understand.
So ideally, we could have something announced next week. And I feel like the Kings have been really quiet too.
Yeah, that's
let me.
That's good.
I haven't been monitoring their workouts. Is Zach Edey the only guy sort of lottery-ish that they've worked out?
Well, no, but there haven't been a ton.
Yeah.
But the other guy that's been moving up for what it's worth, the draft board is the other guy, the other 7-footer that came in yesterday.
Where?
He's actually been, people now are going, oh, look at him. So apparently he worked out really well at the combine, he shot the ball well. So he's a guy. And then there have been a handful of others. And there's also, if I remember correctly, Drapes, the Kings brought in 10 guys for one of their first workouts. And we only found out about 5 or 6 of the names.
Oh, so we don't know. Yeah. It could have been some of the bigger names or something like that. I just feel like, some of the guys they're bringing in, a lot of late second round, not necessarily.
No, I know what you mean.
Where's the Ron Hollins? Where's the, McCains of the world at? Those kind of guys. Jacoby Walters.
I've noticed that too.
Didn't they bring in Carter though? Like wasn't there some talk that they had brought in Carter?
I'd have to double check. I want to say yes, but I have to double
that
check.
first initial kind of drop of 10 guys, there were 2 or 3 of them were like, what? Wait a minute, you're trying to reach out to Sarr, or you're trying to bring there was a couple top 10 guys, and we were like,
oh, you're right. That's right.
Okay.
That's a little interesting.
Okay.
They must be trying to trade up or something.
All right. That's good to know.
Bunch.
That's
you're right.
That's good to know, because if they're not bringing in any of those guys, to me, that means they're not really trying to keep that pick. So, maybe we can read into that, if you will.
I agree with you. I give him a ton of credit because to this point, nothing has been leaked that we know of. I mean, Matt Moore did some reporting that probably comes from the other team. Yeah. So that's good.
And
leaky boats know what happens to them. They sink.
They sink. We didn't hear about the Tyrese trade until it went down. We were all shocked. And so we know Monty moves in silence. So this could be a good thing that we haven't heard anything.
Now, if you had to follow the Celtics path or the Mavericks path, or the Kings. And now I know there's other ways, but just given that those two teams went to the finals, which way would you go? Which path do you think the Kings are closest to already being on?
What was the Celtics path? Let me ask you.
Celtics path is you draft 2 guys, you stay with them, you fill in, you try to add guys that can maximize the potential of your core, and it's interesting to me that they have depth, but if you pointed out, they don't, as a team, they don't have depth. Their depth is at the top.
They're like
their top
their top 6 are really good.
I mean, other than Peyton Pritchard, there's a drop off.
Exactly. I think the Kings are more like the Mavericks, though. Fox is the Luka. You got Sabonis as the Kyrie, the guy you trade for, you bring in. Now you got to add to those two. And so I think when you look at it, we're talking about Levine and Kuzma. Those guys are the Gaffords and PJ Washington. When I look at the Celtics, they had their 2 core right from day one. Those guys played together 6 years before they finally actually won a championship. We don't have that luxury with Sabonis and Fox playing together 5-6 years before they actually break it. We're more on the timeline of the Dallas Mavericks. You pair Luka and Kyrie together, you're trying to win right now. You got Fox and Sabonis, you're trying to win right now.
Mm-hmm. As you know, having been there, this run for the Celtics, it started when they traded Garnett and Pierce, right? And Ray Allen left. And that which was 2013. So last week, one day, we went back and looked at what every NBA team has done since then.
Really?
It was no fun.
You guys did that?
For those of us around here, it was not.
Oh, since then? It was,
I think,
our dark years.
Yeah, even Detroit has been to the playoffs twice since then. So, it's been bleak. But again, it's fine as long as with this group, the Kings could keep it moving in the right direction.
Right. And that's the thing. And that's why this last season was such a heartbreak, because it felt like we took a step back.
Right.
You know, you talk about moving in the right direction. Well, now, because you didn't make any advancements or any improvements last season, now the sense of urgency is heightened even more. Because here's the thing. Let's keep it real, fellas. The Kings capitalized on ending the drought last year, 2 years ago, 2 seasons ago. If you go back to missing the playoffs 2 years in a row, that 1 year looks more like an aberration, an outlier. We're trying to build something here. And so if I'm Monty McNair, and if I'll keep it real, if I'm Vivek, it's a mandate to put a winner on the floor right now.
Drapes, that's why I asked the question last week. I said, I don't want to ask this, but it's something that in the dark corners of my mind, I worry about. This Kings team, this current team, were they built to win a championship, or were they built to break the streak? And now it's apparent that right now they've got bigger fish to fry than they've already broken the streak. And then last year was a disappointment, but all indications are they're trying to put together a legitimate contender. How about this though? Gold, silver, and diamonds on the chat asks, this trade rumor seems a little fishy, more like a ploy by the Bulls to try and create more interest in Levine. Are the Kings just being used? I don't see it that way.
I think there's real interest, legitimate interest from Sacramento.
Because there's nothing in here that's like, oh, Levine is fully healthy now.
Right. I think there's legitimate interest. And, I don't know anything on the inside. I'm just thinking from a basketball standpoint, there's legitimate interest from the Kings. I think Monty understands. To your point, Whitey, we need to upgrade the talent. And somebody from the 916 just texted in, the Kings need to read the room. Most fans will not blame them if they swing big and miss.
I agree completely.
We need to swing more than anything right now, regardless of how it falls in the future.
I think that's right.
I agree. We got to capitalize on the goodwill of the fans right now. There's an excitement surrounding this Sacramento Kings team. And if you just run it back or don't swing, and we just go into this upcoming season with the same squad, is the fan base really excited about what we can do? We will have wasted, that ending the drought. Now's the time. I agree, man, with the 916 and you as well. Now's the time to swing. And even if you miss, I think you're still in a better position to win games than if you just run it back.
Yeah, still to come this hour, we'll tell you about a free agent fit for the Kings who is all but available now. Also, hoping that Jay will, drop his scoop on which big name could be playing Summer League for the Kings. And we'll tell you how the 2024 Kings were actually similar in some ways to both the Mavericks and the Celtics. Tell you how when we come back to Sactown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm meteorologist Heather Waldman in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Cooler Tuesday evening as the Delta breeze comes inland. Watch for some areas of smoke and haze first thing Wednesday morning. Temperatures Wednesday afternoon in the mid-80s with a mix of clouds. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA app.
Coach Doug Christie here to remind you, if you're in the market for a new car, shop Folsom Lake Kia. Low interest rates, low payments, and zero down deals with approval of credit. Folsom Lake Kia, over 25 years, right here in Folsom.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand.
That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals, and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio. So we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
Well, what other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss. Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ziprecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ziprecruiter.com/free.
We're going abroad for the first time in years, to Spain. So we started using Babbel.
And started learning Spanish fast.
With Babbel, you can start having conversations in another language in just 3 weeks.
¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas?
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind.
In just 3 weeks, we're starting to have conversations in Spanish. Gracias, Babbel.
Babbel, language for life. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com.
Celebrate Sacramento Rivercats baseball during our 25th anniversary season. Pick your favorite weekly promotion, giveaway game, or theme night, and join the fun at Sutter Health Park. Stick around post-game every Friday and Saturday night as we light up the sky with the brightest fireworks in town. For a full promotion schedule and to buy tickets, visit rivercats.com. We'll see you there.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Xfinity Mobile. Connect to the most reliable 5G network nationwide. Well, it was October 17th, 1974, when the A's at the Coliseum beat the Dodgers 3-2. They won the World Series 4-1 for their 3rd straight title. Coming up later this month on June 23rd, when the A's play the Twins. As the A's say goodbye to the Coliseum this year, the A's will honor members of that 74 team in a pregame ceremony.
Want more speed? Well, Xfinity just increased their internet speeds, and they're faster than ever. It's time to get more out of your internet with faster speeds from Xfinity. Now through June 21st, get 150 megabit Xfinity internet for only $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year contract. That's double the speed for the same great price. Click, call, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Equipment, taxes, and other charges extra. After promo, regular rates apply. Actual speeds vary.
Not as excited as Kyle Draper is to be back. How about that, huh?
Yeah, I love spending my first day back from vacation hanging with you guys. No, seriously. Okay. I'll tell you what, man. I was dragging today. I didn't feel like coming in. It's been a busy day, Whitey. You know me, man. You know I don't sit still. Mm-hmm. Let me tell you about my morning real quick. Kids were sleeping in. Got up at about 6. Had my coffee. Got a shower. Ran into Sac. Had a 9 o'clock meeting. Coffee meeting.
Mm-hmm.
Picked the wife up from the airport at 10. Ran home.
Mm-hmm.
Got myself together. Hung with the kids a little bit. Had to be back here for a 12:30 meeting.
Mm-hmm.
So your boy, I got this event I'm emceeing tonight.
12:42.
I was.
I'm just kidding.
Let me just say this. I walked in. I talked to my guy JC downstairs.
JC Swan.
I talked to Kelsey. Got caught up with her. Talked to my guy Brian Hanratty down there.
Sure.
Also talked to several other people. And so I was in the building at 12:28. I just didn't make it upstairs to the meeting till 12:42. So I was here. I was on time. I just wasn't in the office.
Right.
So
because everyone's asking about your shirt and your beard and
dude, I tell you what. Somebody said Drapes was so scared of playoffs in his men's league he took a vacation. Now we wouldn't have won the whole thing had I been there. But no, seriously, this is my vacation look.
Raw and kick.
And I get it. I get it. That's the way the game is played now. Celtics looking for threes. What's interesting about that, the Mavs second.
Yeah.
They don't have 3-point shooters per se, right? Like they got some guys that can make threes, but Derrick Jones Jr., PJ Washington shoot, that's not going to scare me.
In terms of the percentages, Boston was second in the NBA. So you shoot the most, have the second highest percentage. That's a win, right? That pencils out.
Yeah, that's good.
Dallas shot the second most threes. They were 13th in percentage. And the Kings shot third most threes, and they were 16th
Make miss
percentage.
Make miss. So we want to be a 3-point shooting team. We just weren't good at 3
Right.
Like we're middle of the pack, a 3-point shooting team.
For all the emphasis on we want to shoot more threes, we got to shoot more. We want to shoot more threes. They just didn't make them last year.
That goes to show, and this is something you talked about a few months ago about the offseason. We need more shooting.
Yeah.
We got guys that can make it. Keegan, Kevin Huerter. But those guys all took a step back in their percentage. The question is, who are they? What are they more? Are they more like their career numbers, career season they had, or are they more like last year? Is Keegan Murray a 41% 3-point shooter or 36 3-point shooter? That's a big difference, Whitey.
That's why, to me, if they're on one path or the other, the Kings are more on the Celtics path.
Really?
Because, and I'm not saying they're well down that path or anything. But, Boston had so many guys, like they would spread the floor, and they had a ton of guys that could make threes, right? Even Porzingis could make a three.
Yeah.
And the Kings wanted to be that. 2 years ago, I think they were that more than they were last year. But, Keegan shooting threes, Harrison Barnes shooting threes. They want everybody shooting threes. So Kyle Kuzma can shoot a three. Zach LaVine is not shy about cranking up a three, right?
Right.
So I would think they're probably not going to make too many adjustments to the offense if they bring those two guys in.
You're talking about style of play.
Yeah. Even though you and I have said, they got to do something when they're not making threes. They got to figure out something else to do.
I think it's a terrible mistake if we just run the same offense. Not saying it doesn't work, but the difference between what the Celtics do and what the Kings do, the Celtics have multiple guys that can take their man one-on-one. I've seen Drew Holiday muscle bigger guys down low and get a bucket. When the offense bogs down, they got Tatum, Brown, Porzingis, Derek White. We could throw the name Peyton freaking Pritchard can get you a bucket. How many guys can we say, here's the ball, 5 seconds on the shot clock, go get me a bucket?
Maybe De'Aaron.
Leak
sometimes.
Maybe HB occasionally. Herter, Keegan. That's what I'm saying. That's the difference. The Celtics, sure, to your point, got the drive and kick game, but when that's not working, or they can do other things too.
And they have more than one guy to initiate that.
We were a one-trick pony, it seemed like, last year.
Don't you think that was the whole key to the series? There were a lot of keys, but the fact that Boston, drive and kick game, they attacked Luka mercilessly, and he just couldn't stop it. And from there, Boston's offense, and I know they were a little sporadic, but basically push came to shove, Dallas couldn't stop them. And Boston's defense was pretty solid.
Yeah. Boston's defense was tremendous. And, they couldn't stop them because point of attack. They had so many weapons, so many waves that, think about it, Porzingis really didn't play the last 3 games. Sure, he played in game 5, but he looked awful.
By the way, Jay, he needs surgery. Did you hear we talked about that yesterday?
Yeah.
We wouldn't be surprised if the series is over and it turns out he needs
surgery. And sure enough.
Yeah.
And the fact that they were still able to gash the Mavericks the way they were, I mean, people forget how good Drew Holiday is. This dude's a champion. He's an Olympian. This guy is a former All-Star. Like, Drew Holiday is legit. We
been
could
on
use it.
4 teams, and I just do not understand that.
Sixers fumbled that bag also. I mean, they've coughed up so much talent. I mean, you look at, they had Miles Bridges also, the Sixers did. And so I know they had some guys, but the thing with the Celtics, it wasn't just JB, Jaylen Brown, or Jason Tatum. Drew Holiday had an impact. Al Horford they had multiple guys that had impacts. Jaylen Brown didn't play fantastic. It's not like he averaged 40 points. He scored 21 last night. But they had so many guys. Yeah, they had so many guys.
Let me check.
Go to your box score. Let me
Don't
pause.
get to do this very often.
Dude, you got too many sheets of paper over there. I wish I'm going to take a picture of you. Hold on here. Let me get it. All your papers you got over there.
Yeah. Oh, you're right, Kyle. Yeah. Jaylen Brown was 7 for 23 last night.
Right. Good
but he was a plus 20. Says my box score.
Yeah. So I'm glad you got the box score, man. You
Last one of the year.
Box score from Wilt's 100-point game somewhere in there too, I'm sure. But we need more, and that's why I'm a big fan of Zach LaVine. Alex Caruso fits that bill. Even your boy Kyle Kuzma, guys that can get their shots outside of the offense. That's what we need.
It's also interesting to me when you look at how Dallas put the team together. We've talked about this a lot. How they were all in last year after missing the playoffs. They made moves. Draft day, they made a ton of moves, some of which they pivoted off of. Again, and they made more moves at the deadline. And I mentioned this quote earlier, but Mark Cuban was asked about the team and how they got here. He said, I just didn't see a path for us to be patient. And to me, that's, someone who's watching the Kings, that really resonates with me. I don't see a path for the Kings to be patient right now.
If the core of our team was 22, 23, we could be patient. De'Aaron Fox, 26? Sabonis, 28? Wow. Now's the time. We can't be patient. Luka, even though he's 25, Kyrie's on the upper side. He's almost 30 years old. And so the Mavs, to Mark Cuban's point, their time is now. Their core is in its prime now. Same thing with Sacramento. Our 2 stars are in their primes right now. Sure, they're not Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum, but they're pretty damn good. 2 years ago, they were 3rd team All-NBA. Now's the time for Monty McNair to surround these guys with some talent.
We've had some fun naming some names today. Okay. No one knows for sure what's going to happen, but we'll tell you about a potential Kings free agent target. He is all but officially available now.
Ooh.
Who he is, why he's just what the Kings need when we come right back to Sactown Sports.
Thunder, feel the thunder.
It ignites something inside of you.
Lightning and the thunder.
Sets alight an elevated state of being. Days are pure exhilaration. And the nights, they're simply electric. See it, hear it, feel it.
Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at PowerCopier.com.
Are you tired of your tee shots ending up in the adjoining fairway while the rest of your foursome is hitting it down the middle? Well, experts will tell you that being properly fitted for golf clubs will help you strike your drive center cut. The Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio and its team of trained PGA professionals are ready to help you get rid of your banana balls and duck hooks. Hagen Oaks Indoor-Outdoor Player Performance Studio fittings are available 7 days a week. Make yours today by calling 916-808-2531. That's 808-2531.
Get ready for the Kia Vacaville Summer Sticker Sales Event. This is your chance to make it a summer to remember with incredible deals on select 2024 Sportage and Sorrento vehicles. Kia of Vacaville is offering an amazing 1.9% APR for up to 48 months for well-qualified buyers. Or you'll get $1,000 bonus cash on specialty tag 2024 Sportage and Sorrento models. It's the perfect time to upgrade your ride and start your summer adventures. Imagine cruising down the highway in your new Kia from Kia of Vacaville, enjoying the advanced features and comfort of the Sportage or Sorrento. Whether you're planning a road trip or just driving around town, these vehicles are designed to elevate your experience. But don't wait too long. These unbeatable deals won't last forever. Your adventure starts now at Kia of Vacaville, where every journey is an adventure. Visit them today and find the perfect vehicle for your summer plans. Model availability, lease options, and features may vary. Please visit Kia of Vacaville for more details.
Since 1776, July 4th has been celebrated as the birth of American independence, but it's been a federal holiday only since 1941. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. It was a mere 7 years later when the Keys family opened their first Naturewood store in Sacramento, and I guess Northern Californians have been celebrating ever since. We celebrate an incredible selection of furniture brands made right here in America. We celebrate the kind of generous hometown hospitality that was important to Walter Keys in 1948 and continues with the Keys family and the Naturewood Home Furnishing staff today. And we celebrate the kind of quality that's been synonymous with Naturewood for all these 76 years. Look for Made in America brands like Stanton, Sam Moore, Stickley, Hilltop Hickory, Simply Amish, and more during the Naturewood 4th of July sale event. Find the furniture that you will celebrate for years to come. Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Swagger like us, swagger like us, swagger like us. No one on the corner has swagger like us.
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Now that the offseason is officially here, we're having some fun today. We're naming some names. Maybe the Kings can get this guy. Maybe they can get that guy. And as always, Drapes, as you know, we're trying to be responsible. We're not just, maybe they'll get LeBron. We're not doing that.
I was waiting for somebody else. You're going to, dude, it's the worst, man. You know, it's, get LeBron for 2 second-round picks. People, the trade machine and ESPN, it's like made everybody a GM. And it's two sides to everything, right? Like, you got to examine it from the player's side, the other team's side. So, who you got?
Yeah, well, we have this, just a review, a report from Matt Moore.
Oh, our guy, Matt. Okay.
Yeah, just to review that. Yeah, he says the Kings have been talking with the Bulls about Caruso, Zach LaVine.
Mm-hmm.
He says, LaVine now is his value has gone down since the deadline, so maybe he's somebody the Kings can get. And he says, does Matt Moore, that the Kings are also expected to revisit talks with the Wizards over Kyle Kuzma. So that'd be nice, getting maybe both of those guys. How about this? Report, early belief that Indiana Pacers center Jalen Smith will turn down player option, which would make him an unrestricted free agent. He's going to make a lot of money. So he's a guy with your MLE, you would have a shot at Jalen Smith, who was a backup center last year, who put up big numbers. He can shoot.
Think he's going to take that, though?
I don't know how much he's going to. I mean, he really didn't make that much money last year.
I could see him like a 4 for 40 type guy, which is eating your whole MLE up.
Yeah, he's probably your whole MLE.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's probably your whole guy. I like him. I think he's a solid player. I think he's young enough where we haven't seen the best of him just yet.
He was at an average of about 5. That's what he's coming off of. And obviously, he's looking for big money.
Right.
Yeah. I think he'd be affordable. I think he'd be worth a big chunk, if not a big chunk of your MLE, because I think he's one of those guys that you have to look at and say, this guy's worth right now is X.
Right.
His worth can be 3X with us. You know, those are the guys you need. In addition to bringing the veterans, it's like you got to find the guys that are value, that are low cost, high upside. That's what everybody's trying to do. But this is one of those guys. In an expanded role, he can be a much better player, and you can afford him.
Let me ask you.
That's how you get better.
Is he a starter?
I think he could be.
On our team?
Yeah.
He has to be.
Because I think as well as he shoots the three, and again, I mean, you look at his numbers, he's a really good three-point shooter. You know, you need a big, presumably, with Domas, who can be a bit of a stretch big, and he can do that.
Let me ask you this, and I'm with you on Jalen Smith. I like the young kid. 24 now, I believe he is. Shot 42.4% from three last year. Let me ask you this, though, Whitey, and I'm not trying to, be devil's advocate.
That's what we're here for.
I'm just digging into the numbers. Year before that, 28.3% from three. Year before that, 37.3. Year before that, 23.1. It seems like every other year he shoots well from three. Who is the real Jalen Smith, if you will?
All I know is that he has talked about that, and he has said that it was in his head a little bit, three-point shooting.
Okay.
He said he's understood. He just has to let it fly and be more aggressive. Now, a lot of people say that, but that's what he said. He has addressed that. And let's not forget that when he went to the Pacers in 2022, 22 games with them after the trade from Phoenix, he averaged 13.4 points a game.
Okay. All right.
And that was in 25 minutes a game. So to me, he's one of those guys that's shown he can give a lot more if he just gets more minutes. And in the minutes he's played, he's been really good.
And I'm with you. I love Jalen Smith. I like him a whole lot. And here's the thing about it. In Indiana, their season changed when Jalen Smith was inserted into the starting lineup. I talked to Rick Carlisle about this when they came to town. December 26th, they were at Houston. Jalen Smith makes a start. They go on a 6-game winning streak. 7, 8. They won 9 out of 10 after Jalen Smith started. When you look at the Pacers' defensive numbers, Whitey, first 2 months of the season, they were abysmal. Jalen Smith gets in the starting lineup. The defense really picks up. So I think this guy, sure, he can knock down the three, he can score, but he can defend as well.
Yeah, and he's 6'10", and I'm sorry, Jay, I don't have his wingspan.
I get it for you.
Jay needs that. That's
I'm with you, Jay. I'm a big wingspan guy also. Like, I think – so Jalen Smith, 6'10". I need his wingspan to be at least 7'2". Can I get that? Let me look.
You know, it's interesting.
7'2" and a quarter. Passes the Drapes to him.
Baby.
There you go. There you go, right there.
And I know he's not the biggest name. So for some people that might not really know who he is, like, he's not the guy who wears glasses that doesn't play. But I'm telling you, we can get excited about Kuzma and Levine. But guys like this, if you're going to get better, these are the types of guys you have to identify and grab. I think he's one of those guys.
Let me throw this at you, because we're just spitballing here. I'm not shooting anything down, Whitey. I agree. I like this player. Do you still get him if you get Kuzma and Levine?
Yes.
Then he's coming off the bench.
Because he's a legitimate big.
Okay. He's your backup big. Okay. All right. Just throwing that out there.
You know what I say? I got Zach LaVine as my sixth man.
You can't have Zach LaVine.
Come on.
That's what I want. That's not going to happen.
Sixth man? Zach LaVine?
Then who's starting?
Who's your two?
You can't continue to run out.
Keegan's my off guard.
Okay, you don't even.
Okay, now
you say
Kuzma and Jalen Smith are my front court.
What'd you say, Jay?
I got so much
quarters now. Man.
Oh man.
This is the thing, and Jalen Smith, fellas, I think you're spot on with this. He's the type of guy. I was looking at the minutes, Drapes. You just said it, but you didn't put out the numbers. The most minutes he's ever played is 24. 24 minutes a game, and that's when he got traded from Phoenix to Indiana that year. And why do you point it? He had the most points, right?
Yeah.
Like he's only coming off 17 minutes a game this past year, the year before 18 minutes, and they're both at 9 and 5. Like he's right there, 9 and 5. He's the type of guy, if you give 30 minutes, he may give you 15 and 10.
I agree.
Like he's a good upside guy, and he's right at the age where it's like he might flip the page. Now may be his time to be a 15 and 10 guy. I like it.
He played really well
do.
here. Yeah, pardon me, but I know he played really well here this year when the Pacers were here. They were a little shorthanded, and
He lit us up.
Isaiah Jackson is kind of ahead of them there. They have a lot of bigs there.
They got a lot of bigs. And I'm with you. I would like to see him come here and not be a 15. Don't be the same guy you were in Indiana.
Right.
This is a bigger role. He comes here, I need 28, 29 minutes a night.
Well, I think Jay made the point. He's probably not going to go somewhere where we're going to continue to bring you off the bench, and then we'll see.
It's his time to get paid. And a 448 or 452, I think makes a lot of sense for this guy. I think it depends, and you guys answer me this, on what you do with draft trades. Because if you get a Kyle Kuzma, I don't know if I'm then and not Zach LaVine, I don't know if I'm then using my full mid-level on Jalen Smith when you probably need some backcourt help, especially without Malik Monk, perhaps. And so I think these next 2 weeks before free agency, I got to know if I'm Monty McNair. Am I trading for Kuzma? Am I trading for Zach LaVine? Because let's say you trade for Zach LaVine, then Jalen Smith makes a lot of sense. Then you got your 4-man.
Yeah.
But if you trade for Kuzma, you still got a glaring hole in your backcourt.
Right.
That's why I think things got to get done here over the next week or two before free agency.
One more thing I like about Jalen Smith, and Jay touched on it. If I end up trading a lot of my draft picks, but I bring him in, I've got a player who's reasonably young. There are players in the draft that are older than him right now.
Yeah.
You know, I bring in a guy who's 23, a young guy. There's a chance that he becomes a younger part of my core.
Yeah. And, you know, to the point we made earlier about taking a swing, this is a guy you take a swing on. You know, you're betting on him, the potential that he reaches. You know, it's placing money down that you're going to get the blackjack here, you know, and so I'm all in on this guy. I like him a lot.
How about this real quick before we break here? I'm sitting here looking at his numbers and we're talking about him. Eerily, it just kind of feels like Malik Monk, a guy who needs more time, more space, real estate, has proven it, and now is probably looking for another role.
Yeah.
Like, man.
Yeah. Small market teams, you got to be able to identify those guys.
Interesting.
Yeah. When we come back, joining us will be NBC Sports Bay Area Kings insider. She was Jay's co-host on Saturday at the Jugs Water for Life match. Tristy Rodriguez joins us next on Sactown Sports.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Save on rows and rows of new Hondas during our giant summer sale at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Hurry in and save on our best selection of new Hondas. Each is priced to sell now. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop for great pricing on a giant selection of new CRVs, HRVs, Ridgeline, Civics, and Accords with low finance and lease options. Get to Folsom Lake Honda or go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Hello there, Whitey here, reminding you that not all gas grills are created equal. Bring out all the delicious flavors in your grilled meals with the amazing Napoleon Prestige and Prestige Pro line of outdoor cookers. My Napoleon Stainless Steel Pro Series gas grill, going to get a workout this weekend. It's turned me into a grilling pro. It's got features that other grills simply cannot match. They're built different. They're built better. They're built to last. Made with premium stainless steel that boasts quality and a lifetime warranty. I'm never going to want to cook indoors again. Not that I ever really did. Napoleon grills and accessories are now available at your nearby Amy's, Ace Hardware in Sacramento, and now El Dorado.
At the Good Feet store, we take pain very seriously. Whether in the foot, knee, hip, or back, Good Feet makes over 300 styles, flexibilities, and sizes of pain-relieving arch supports. With 26 bones, 30 joints, and over 100 muscles, tendons, and ligaments in each foot, a lot can go painfully wrong. So there's a trained arch support specialist at each Good Feet store to give you a precision fit. Come in for a free fitting and test walk. No appointment necessary. Good Feet arch supports are HSA, FSA eligible.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Vacaville. Online at goodfeet.com.
Attention talcum powder users. Have you had ovarian or gynecological cancer? A proposed $8 billion plan will pay those who believe they got sick from using talc products like Johnson's baby powder and shower to shower. Johnson & Johnson maintains its products are safe. You have until July 26, 2024 to vote to accept or reject the plan. For more information, visit officialtalclaims.com or call 888-431-4056. Paid for by LLT Management, LLC.
Some people just know safe drivers save more with Allstate. Just like they know a saxophone solo makes any song smoother. See? Smooth. And they know if you're a safe driver, you can save up to 40% with Allstate. Now that's nice.
Based on the national average premium savings for Allstate customers with a clean driving record versus those without. Savings vary by state and based on how you buy. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Shop Folsom Lake Kia for special offers right now. I'm Coach Doug Christie urging you to visit my friends at Folsom Lake Kia and save big on your next new or certified pre-owned vehicle right now. Visit FolsomLakeKia.com.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Take it on the local level.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios. Sactown Sports. Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Real quick, Drapes, Jay, before we get to our guest here, not everybody on the text line is crazy about our plan for improving the Kings. From the 916 here, Kuzma, Murray, and Jalen Smith all do the same thing. Somebody else, actually it's the same person. Can Monty do a deal without the Pacers for them? Didn't the Kings just try another Pacers player in Duarte? If a contender thought Kyle Kuzma could help them, he would already be on that team. I think he wants to be the number one on a crap team. That's from Alan.
Alan put his name on it.
Yeah.
With the respect on it, I give him that. Put his name on it.
Yeah, I'm telling you what. The Kings got some opportunities
Yeah,
here.
they're about to do something.
Yes, yes. And we appreciate the opportunity to catch up with our guest from NBC Sports Bay Area, Kings Insider. She was Jay's co-host on Saturday, Tristy Rodriguez. How are you today, Tristy?
Hey guys, I'm good. How are y'all doing?
We're doing fine. I just want to know, are your shoulders sore from having to carry Jay through the whole afternoon on Saturday?
A little bit. I'm not gonna lie. I think my shoulders more than, to be honest.
Tristy, tell what was it like working with Jay though? Because we work with him here, and he was mentioning how when he's out on the baseball field, he's allowed to be a little more loose, a little more free. How was he on Saturday?
No, he was great. I mean, other than us, having our little friendly rivalry, he was repping Team White. My Team Black won, of course. It was my first time ever emceeing or being in like a position like that, and he made me feel super comfortable. It was also like our first time really interacting in person. So he's great, and I've heard nothing but great things about him. So, again, I appreciate him making me feel comfortable, and we had a great time. It was fun.
You see how she put in the Team Black one, fellas, too?
Yeah.
One thing I've noticed about Tristy real fast, as quick as possible, as she's talking about, is I dig this. This is what we do on the Drive, guys. We talk about competition and who's better and why we won and why when I take a loss to Drapes or vice versa, we have issues. Tristy's competitive. I like that. I like that. I can deal with that.
Oh. Guys, I grew up with 4 brothers, no sisters. I'm the only girl. All my cousins are boys. All my neighbors were boys growing up. Like, I'm super competitive. Our family, you think we're playing a friendly game of Uno? No, like, there's death let's happen at the end of the night. Like, it gets very intense. So, yeah, super competitive. So, I have to throw that in there.
Yeah. Yeah. Tristy Rodriguez, NBC Sports Bay Area with us, Kings Insider. Tristy, what do you think the Kings have to do more than anything else if they want to be as competitive as you are next season?
I think they need to do something. So a little more than what they did last offseason, I would say. I think that, if your offense is going from number 1 to number 13, that's obviously a problem. And there were factors that played into that. The West got better. The Kings kind of just stood pat. And I think, other than De'Aaron and Domas, they had their, there was periods of time where they struggled. But for the most part, they did their thing. They held their ground. And they just need the Kings a third option that is reliable. I think Keegan Murray has shown that he could potentially be that at times. I'm not sure, I fully trust him just yet. The Kings also are asking a lot from him defensively. So, that's another factor that plays into that. But he definitely has that potential to be that third option for the Kings. Malik Monk was showing that at times too, but we obviously don't know what's going to go on with that situation. I just think that De'Aaron and Domas need some help sometimes because they're going to have those off nights. And when they do, who's going to be the person to step up? We haven't really seen somebody prove that they are able of stepping up to that plate on a reliable basis.
Tristy, do you think Keegan, holds the key to the success of this franchise? I feel like, as the number 4 overall pick, a guy that scored 47 in the game, the organization's hope is that he develops into that third. Do you think he's the key? We're talking about Zach LaVine and all these outside guys. Could Keegan be that guy?
I think so. I think this is why the Kings drafted him number 4 overall. That was obviously controversial at the time, but the Kings saw something in him. They see it now, entering year 3. And we talked about it even going into last season. It was sophomore leap, this year 2 jump. And again, I think he did. Although his, shooting numbers were down and stuff like that, I think he made a leap defensively. Entering year 3, I don't know if it's ever fair to have so much expectations on one player. So to say, their success next season is on Keegan. It's a team sport, but I do believe that they coincide with each other. Keegan's leap and Sacramento's leap next season will go together. So if Keegan, has that jump, focuses, and the thing I love about Keegan is that we all know he's super even keeled, sometimes emotionless. But he has brought those own expectations on himself. He said, I'm a, top 4 pick. I, have to be better, stuff like that. When he doesn't have the best games or he struggles, he knows what this team expects of him. And I think last season working with De'Aaron, they helped each other's games. And I think doing things like that continuously is only going to make him better. So to answer your question, yes, I do think he holds the key to their success.
Tristy Rodriguez with us, NBC Sports Bay Area. Tristy, as we all know, a year ago, Kings fans were sky high, having just come off the light the beam year where they got into the playoffs. Right now, things seem a little more uncertain. How important do you think it is for the Kings in terms of the fan base right now? How important is it to do something big enough this year to get fans excited again? Do you think fans can be patient if they have another offseason where, like last year, nothing really happens? Or do the Kings need to show their fans how serious they are by having a big offseason?
I think these fans waited 16 seasons without a playoff berth. They've been patient enough. And I think they've been loyal. They should be rewarded with, something in return.
Mm-hmm.
It's obviously easier said than done. I'm not an executive. I'm not a general manager. So I get, I don't understand the ins and outs of the things, but I do think last season after, 2 years ago, making the playoffs, having a historic season, Cinderella story, blah, blah, blah. And to go from that to this past season of not even making the playoffs, the sad thing is it's a familiar spot for Kings fans, but the frustrating thing and where I can understand where Kings fans are coming from is it was essentially the same team. They have the talent. De'Aaron and Domas did their thing. And so I think it is super important because this fan base is so loyal. And I mean, I don't want to be super biased, but they're one of the best fan bases that, I've experienced. I've been to NBA Finals games. I've been to soccer games. I've been to the Super Bowl, and I've never really heard any fans as loud as Golden One Center fans. So with that being said, I do feel like, the Kings fans were loyal for a long time, and they deserve a little reward back. So I think staying pat is not the way to go. Let's make a move and let's make the fans happy.
Yeah,
I'm with you 100%, Tristy. When you look at, this past season and, the shortcomings, the shortfall that they had, what do you think happened? Was it the Malik injury? Was it the shooting numbers? You talked about how the offense went from 1 to 13. What happened last season?
Man, there was a lot of things, little things. I want to blurt out free throws because.
That too.
Geez, I know Rasay was like unhappy with De'Aaron's numbers too. So the whole team was super frustrating with that. I never want to like look back and nitpick at little things, but it's hard not to when like you do go to these numbers and you break down game by game. Had Domas made those last 3 free throws, had De'Aaron made those last 2 free throws, it made all the difference in the game, and that also, you guys know, changes the position of the ranking in the West.
Yeah.
Instead of playing, or beating the Warriors and getting eliminated, they're in an actual playoff series and the best of 7 game. And of course, you could say that for any other team, but it's when something as simple as free throws could have made all the difference. That's just obviously a big concern and something I don't even know how you were shoot until September, nothing but free throws. I don't know how you actually work on that. Like, I know they were kind of mentioning it might have been a mental thing, and it was getting in their head. So other than just practicing dang free throws, I'm not sure how they can actually improve on that next season, but that was a big concern. I also think they might have gotten a little comfortable, and like the season that they had before, as if they were writing that success, it was new to them, and like sustaining it was super hard for them. And Mike Brown talked about this a lot. Going from bad to good is easier than going from good to great, and that the Kings clearly proved that they weren't at that level this past season, and there's several we can point out to that. I also think, just some of their experiments with their players just didn't fall through. You can point at Chris Duarte, Sasha, just different players who didn't really, like, they had short leases, didn't really perform to, the limited minutes that they did get. Also, like, Davion struggled a little bit, but was big towards the end of the season. So I guess it was a lot of things that you can point at. Obviously, the injuries, they were the healthiest team in the NBA 2 years ago, and then faced that adversity with the past season, which is also new to them. So, I guess, I'm almost in a weird way, like, happy that this happened to them so that they kind of got a reality check. Hopefully we'll be able to bounce back this season.
Joined by Tristy Rodriguez, NBC's Authentic. Tristy, real quick, this is something, and maybe you can settle it for all three of us. We've been arguing all off season so far who the Sacramento Kings' #1 target should be. Zach LaVine, Kyle Kuzma. I've mentioned Miles Bridges. We've heard Brandon Ingram, Jeremy Grant. Who's the person that you might be looking for that the Sacramento Kings should have interest from Tristy Rodriguez's point of view?
Oh, man. I actually think Kelly Oubre is interesting. I think you guys mentioned something about the Pacers King connection. Obi Toppin, is also an intriguing target. Obviously coming off the best season of his career with Whitey. But yeah, I think Kelly Oubre is interesting. I mean, he's 28, I think, almost 10 seasons in the NBA. A solid season with Philly last year, and a short-lived playoff run. He can get to the paint. He can score. He can defend. He can rebound. He's athletic. He's long. He's 6'7", 6'8", 7'2" wingspan. So I think he's interesting. Again, I said Obi Toppin. coming off the best season of his career with Indy. I know his role was kind of limited last season, but he definitely made the most of every opportunity he got. And I think he'll be an interesting and even hot commodity in free agency if the Pacers don't retain.
Tristy, thank you so much for your time. Again, congratulations on
No. You congratulating her for that win? Is that where you were going?
I was just saying on what a good job she
Oh,
did.
okay. Well, excuse me.
That's all I was saying.
Excuse me. I'm getting emotional over here real
I was
quick.
like, wait, what?
Sore loser.
Yeah, I thought he was getting ready to congratulate you for that win, Tristy.
Team Black, baby.
Thank you, Tristy. We appreciate it. Hope to talk to you again soon.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Jay's a little touchy.
You put him out there between the white lines.
Right.
Look out.
I know. This dude taking it seriously over there.
When we come
I told you.
back. Yeah.
It's baseball field. I get a little touchy, fellas.
Well, by the way, we have a quiz coming up if you guys want to go there. The Whitey's Wayback Machine.
We got to do that next.
We could do it next
because I'm gone. I got to leave. I got to leave early.
Oh, man. I might not be ready. No, let's go.
Let's go.
We got that coming up also. Did they get the Finals MVP award right? Still to come, Sactown Sports.
Go for the gold May 1st through July 27th during Sky River Casino's $1 million Road to Glory giveaway. Play daily for a chance to win free play, cash, or your choice of a Lincoln Nautilus, GMC Sierra, or Ford Mustang GT every Saturday. Get 100 bonus entries by earning 100 tier credits every Monday and Tuesday, plus one free daily entry at our promotional kiosks. Victory could be yours during the $1 million Road to Glory giveaway at Sky River Casino. Visit skyriver.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hot summer savings now at Maida Chevy with $12,000 off MSRP on every new Silverado half-ton Turbo Max in stock after rebate.
$12,000 off every Silverado LT Turbo Max at Maida Chevy with at least 5 at this price.
Hot summer savings up to $12,000 off MSRP exclusively at Maida Chevy at MaidaChevy.com. Sacramento Silverado headquarters. Together, let's drive.
Not available with special financing, leasing. Some other offers must trade in 2010 model year or newer and 7124.
Made a great deal of Maida.
The Drive Guys, live and local, every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
Tristy Rodriguez gets some rave reviews here on the chat. Does she have a podcast from Compio? She knows ball from the Real Buddha. So Tristy knows how loud Kings fans are in the G1 Center from Manny Too Legit. So very impressive appearance from Tristy Rodriguez. And I'm sorry, Jay. Honestly, I was just going to say congrats on a great job you did on Saturday.
That's all right, man. I don't care about that. I care about the win, fellas. I'm just playing. Man.
Took that loss.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. We're going to visit, we'll go inside the Wayback Machine here for June 18th. And who won the last time you guys went?
Come on, man. Stop playing around.
I think I got that
You
one.
know
right
I sent
there.
him to the vacation with his beautiful children on the L. You know that.
All right.
I didn't want to do it. What Martin used to say. I didn't want to do it.
But I'm rested. I'm relaxed. Let's go.
All right. So you're up first, Jay?
Let's go.
Yeah.
Get it in, baby.
Things that happened on this date, June 18th, 1972, 2000, 2005, 2013, and 2013.
Let's go 2000, the millennium.
2000. All right. This day, 2000, Jay. Tiger Woods wins the U.S. Open at Pebble Beach.
Oh, man.
By a record-setting how many strokes?
7?
That's incorrect.
Oh,
Kyle Draper, closest will win.
15.
15 is exactly right.
Man.
15 strokes is exactly right.
You're asking golf questions, man. That's not even a sports question.
You started with
I
the
didn't
golf question.
even know we were talking. I thought we were talking sports on the show.
Draper won. Jay, not yet on the board, Kyle Draper.
I don't even consider that's an asterisk.
No, that's a good one, right? I pulled that one out. All right, what you got?
I was going to say team.
72, 05, 05, 2013, 2013.
So it's 2 2013?
Yes, sir, and 2 05s.
One of the 2013s.
First one or second one?
First one.
First one. This day, 2013, Ray Allen's three-pointer forced overtime. Heat beat the Spurs, Game 6 of the Finals, 103-100. The game has gone down in Heat history as which of the following? Heat fans know it as the trophy game, the headband game, or the comeback game.
The trophy game.
That's not correct.
That's not it.
What?
Yeah.
Jay.
It's the headband game.
Correct.
Yes.
The headband game. Because in the fourth quarter, LeBron's headband came
off. That's right.
He went nuts.
That was that.
The rest of the way.
Dang. That's
Bring me back in, baby. I got life.
Dang, Jay.
Yeah. So, Jay, you're up now. Again, 72, 05, 05, and 2013. 1-1 game.
05B.
05B. What all-time great who would average 13 home runs a season for his career hit the only grand slam of his career in an 8-1 Yankee win over the Cubs on this date, 2005. Only grand slam of his career.
2005. And he averaged 13 home runs a year?
Gonna need a guess from you.
I know. Time running out. He's nervous.
He's working.
Wow.
Don't hit
guess.
the Google machine.
You got a guess?
I don't have nothing. My hands are free and clear there, officer.
Yeah.
He gives up.
Brett Gardner?
Nope.
Can you repeat the question, please?
Certainly. What all-time great who would average 13 home runs a season for his career
Who am I missing?
hit the only grand slam of his career in an 8-1 Yankee win over the Cubs this date, 2005.
Derek Jeter.
Derek Jeter is the answer.
What?
Jeets.
He wasn't a big fly guy, Jay.
Yeah, but
he wasn't hitting home runs
I
like
swear
that.
he's only averaged 13 home runs a season.
You gotta look at the later years too.
Yeah.
You gotta look at the league. You know,
The all-time great threw me. I'm like,
Yeah.
all-time great. Jeter's got more than that.
Yeah.
Jeter is only his home run is averages 13 a year.
Yes.
Where are you getting that stat from? I gotta check this out.
Come on, man.
No, honestly, fellas,
He wasn't a big home
I
run
know,
guy.
but I thought he was at least like 2021. I felt it around here. 13?
13.
Jay,
yeah,
you took
Jay.
long enough to answer the question incorrectly. We got to move on.
I know, right?
Yeah. 2-1 Drapes, your lead, your ball, 72-05, 2013. 2013. What city files a lawsuit against MLB on this day, 2013, claiming it has lost millions of dollars because of Bud Selig's refusal to allow the A's to move there?
Oh, this is an easy one too.
Back and forth we go.
Give me the question again.
What city files a lawsuit this day, 2013, against MLB, claiming it has lost millions of dollars because of Bud Selig's refusal to allow the A's to move there?
Damn, I should know this one. A refusal. Bud Selig would not let the A's.
He's looking at the TV. He's not looking at any of the. You're not getting any help on the screen.
Would not let the A's move.
How long is long enough?
Now, I'm about to say, you talking about my timing here now. Come on now.
Need an answer.
I should know this. Hold on. Anaheim.
Anaheim's not correct, Jay.
San Jose?
San Jose is
That's it. That's loaded right there. This guy's a Bay Area native. He's a Bay Area.
I'm from here,
give me a Philadelphia question. That's a terrible.
First of all,
that's hard. Jay, that's horrible. You know that. That's horrible.
I'm from Sacramento, man.
This
I'm
is
from
terrible. No, this is terrible.
Don't do me like Jeffrey Chedilla now. Don't do me like that.
Two questions left. 72
He's a
and
North
05.
California native his whole life.
That's what happened.
Give me something about the Delaware Blue Hens or something. Give me something about them.
They have to do something for me to
Terrible.
give you a question on it.
You don't have to choose that one.
72 and what now?
05.
05. Let's go.
05.
Terrible.
This 46-year-old Brave became the oldest ever to homer twice in one game. Who is he?
Oh, my goodness gracious. 46-year-old Brave.
What year was this?
05.
Okay. All right, I got this.
Jay's already 0 for 1 on 05.
I know. 05. I'm blanking on 05. 46 years old twice.
Yeah.
I got two guys in my mind. I'm going Jim Tomei.
That's not correct.
Okay.
Kyle Draper?
Fred McGriff.
No. Julio Franco.
Oh, Julio Franco. Damn.
So we're all even as we go to the final question.
Is this a close one? Like closest to?
Nope.
Or is this?
Nope. But
And
if
it's
you both
me,
miss,
big
we do
fella.
have a tiebreak.
All right.
Yeah. So you get this right, you win.
Yeah.
You understand that, right?
Yes.
So if you miss it,
I
there's
got
no
it, big fella.
Yeah, but Jay,
I got this.
It.
I'm not worried. What year is this?
1972.
Oh, that's my year too. Okay.
What team held baseball's first Mustache Day, offering free admission to any fan with a mustache? This date, 1972.
Okay. Okay. Angels.
Not correct.
That's not it.
Jay for the win.
I got 3.
Come on,
Man, I got 3.
Just say 1.
I got 3. Slow down, as you would say. Slow down, big fella. I got 3.
Come on, Jay.
Do need an answer.
Okay, hold on now. Let me at least get some of that Draper time back.
This is
2-2.
What are you doing back there?
I
Jay?
got
this right.
3, but I'm
He
trying to
wins.
think.
If he misses, we're going to overtime. Need an answer.
Come on.
Ah, man, I got 3 in my mind.
Jay.
Yeah, okay, I'm going Dodgers.
Oakland A's.
I thought it was. It was down to them 2, man. Raleigh Fingers, baby. That's what I was like. Oh,
Raleigh Fingers.
I knew. I was like, it's a California team.
Right.
It was either the A's or the Dodgers.
Jay.
I should have went with the A's.
His team. He didn't even know his team. That's what you get, dude.
I said down.
All right. What's the
All right,
bonus?
this is
Should've won my
overtime
heart.
question, so it'll be closest to. So who goes? You go.
He goes first this
your
time.
Yeah, it's
question.
my turn. Yeah, it's
you want
my
to go
question.
first? You want him to go first?
I'm going second.
Okay. All right.
I'm the home team.
Ah,
here.
Jay think he's slick
I got
now.
the hammer.
I see how you
Man,
are, big
I
fella.
wanted to go A's.
Okay. The question is going to be how many days, just so you know.
Oh, how many days?
2014, and you're up first, Drapes.
All right.
Clayton Kershaw threw
Yeah.
a no-hitter against the Rockies. How many days after Josh Beckett threw a no-hitter? Shortest span between no-hitters by teammates.
Repeat
ever.
that one more time.
Yes, sir. This day, 2014,
Okay.
Clayton Kershaw
Yeah.
threw a no-hitter against the Rockies.
Mhm.
He did it how many days after Josh Beckett threw a no-hitter? That's the shortest span between no-hitters by teammates ever.
Kershaw. Josh Beckett.
Kershaw on this date,
What year was this?
2014. So it comes down to what is the shortest span in days?
2 days.
2 days? Jay?
No, it was a couple weeks. I'm gonna say 13 days.
The answer is 24 days.
Yes.
Dang, Jay.
Come on, baby. The belt
That's
stays
weak. That's
home.
weak. That is
Overtime.
weak.
The belt stays home.
Jay, let me just say this.
Oh, here we
Can
go.
I-
Let me bring out your swan song.
Everybody,
Here we
ladies and gentlemen, driving on your way home, beautiful night out, good mood, entertained by the show. How many questions did we have prior to the bonus round?
There were 6.
2 of them had to do with Jay's favorite baseball team. Think about that.
Because
His
that's what
favorite
happened on
team.
this day.
No, I'm sure that's not the only things that you chose.
Phillies
Those
didn't do
6.
nothing.
You chose those 6. Where's a Mike Schmidt question?
You didn't do anything on this day.
Give me Eric Lindros or something like that. Give me something Philly, dude. The fact that his favorite team was 2 of the questions.
He only got 1 of those right.
Exactly.
You had a chance to get both of them right, and it came down to the other question.
That's terrible.
He's doing a hobby I don't even pay attention to.
I see how it is.
I didn't even know we were talking golf
Jay,
these days.
You got to admit, that's pretty bad. 2
Nah,
Oakland A's
I
questions.
thought the judge, you were very fair and square. I thought you went to the review booth a few times.
Yeah.
You sent it to Secaucus.
yeah.
They did a great job.
Yeah.
We had 2
After
Oakland A's
review,
questions.
The ruling on the field is confirmed.
Don't let them talk you out your game, ref.
Confirmed.
Don't let them talk you out of your game.
That's pretty bad. That's what I come back to from vacation.
Yep.
You could have
We'll see you
did
tomorrow,
any
big fella.
NBA Finals. You could have did Philadelphia Phillies.
Ain't
You
nothing
did
happened
2
today.
Oakland A's.
You didn't even get the headband game.
But I got that one
NBA
wrong.
Finals.
But 2 of the questions were tailor made for him. His favorite team.
Did they get the Finals MVP award right? Next, Drive Guys, Sactown Sports.
We are the champions.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm meteorologist Heather Waldman in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Cooler Tuesday evening as the Delta breeze comes inland. Watch for some areas of smoke and haze first thing Wednesday morning. Temperatures Wednesday afternoon in the mid-80s with a mix of clouds. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA app.
Right now, while you're sitting on the couch or just driving around, your friends are at the Hagen Oaks Driving Range powered by Top Tracer. The vibe is perfect whether you're an accomplished player or a newbie. Play a variety of fun games, play Pebble Beach, or compete against friends at the Hagen Oaks Driving Range. Hungry? The Hangout Food Truck offers burgers, chicken strips, and more. Check the summer-long free concert schedule. Be a part of the fun at the Hagen Oaks Driving Range, Fulton Avenue at Cap City Freeway, open until midnight.
At Ashton & Price, we get injury victims to yes. Experience, yes. Ashton & Price has been around for over 25 years. No more insurance companies? Yes. Our clients focus on getting better, and we handle all the rest. Results? Yes. We've collected over $100 million for injury victims. No fee until we win? Yes. Our clients pay nothing until we win. Ashton & Price, the best at getting to yes. Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Carmichael Dave here for Capital Casino. Sacramento summertime heat is back. And, of course, Cap Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room, wants to invite everyone to soak up some air conditioning, still with the most variety of table games in the region. And, as always, the best food, best service, and the best action, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. Capital Casino, of course, reminding everyone to please make sure you gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Earlier today, we talked to Vic Tafer, and Vic Tafer just wrote a piece in The Athletic about over-unders in the NFL, and he picks over-unders, for each team based on what those numbers are. And he says Viking fans are furious. He's been hearing a lot from Vikings fans. I know how he feels because before Drapes made his way out to attend a charity event, all I heard was that was set up. The A's are Jay's favorite team. I was set up today.
That's what happens when you lose.
That was terrible. Why didn't you have any Phillies questions?
Because they got to do something significant on this
right,
today's
Jay.
date.
Thank you. Yeah.
I get it. Drapes understands.
I don't know. He didn't seem very understanding.
You know what? Let me go to Today in Sports. Mm-hmm. Let me see if Philadelphia, the city of Philadelphia, has done anything today worthwhile.
You let me know if you come up on anything. I'll tell you what, from now on, somebody's going to get a lot of Philadelphia questions from like 1918, 1931, Philadelphia. It'll be Philadelphia A's too, because A's used to be Philadelphia. Yeah.
I'm going down Today in Sports,
Mm-hmm. Jay, did you think that they got the MVP right, Jaylen Brown? Because I like Jaylen Brown and I was pulling for him, but I didn't think they got it right overall.
You know what it was? It felt like, and this is the thing, when it was all said and done and the smoke cleared, I thought the numbers definitely told it was Jason Tatum. He led the team in points, rebounds, and assists, which is what everybody looks at, right? But I felt the team moved as Jaylen Brown moved. And so when you really look at the whole encompass of the finals, I could see how Jaylen Brown was named the finals. Mm-hmm. And one thing about it is Tatum finished with better numbers, but there was a game, and I think it was game 2 or in game 3, where it felt like Tatum, or not 3 because they had 31, but game 2, it felt like for game 1 and game 2, it felt like Tatum played, but we were expecting bigger. Mm-hmm. And it seemed like, Jaylen had a better all-around game and made more of an impact. So I thought, sometimes, and this is the thing in sports, you always, minus children's sports, someone has to win. There's very few ties unless you're soccer, and I don't know what's going on with soccer. But
it's not really a sport.
Well, that's true. I hear what you're saying.
Kidding.
It is.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's okay to be co. Like, we don't do that enough in my eye.
I'm with you. I think that would have been a perfect solution. I thought that some of the voters made up their minds before the game last night. Well, if the Celtics win, then Jaylen Brown's the MVP. And that's, you're right. I mean, he had a fine series. But after last night, I thought if you looked overall at everything and you tried to be objective, it was probably Tatum. I was glad Jaylen Brown won. I also had the same thought you did. Co-MVPs would have been great. But I also think, this is what I heard you saying. You could make the case based on the early part of the series. Numbers are one thing, and they're very important, but Jaylen Brown brought an emotional element that helped his team at a time when Tatum didn't seem to have that. Jaylen Brown was gathering the team together for huddles, in some of their most anxious moments of the season. So I give Jaylen Brown credit for that, even though that's obviously not reflected in the numbers. So overall, I thought, probably Tatum, but I'm glad actually that Jaylen Brown got it.
Yeah, and me too, because I think it just kind of puts the punctuation on what Jaylen Brown means to the Celtics, and it's not again, this is not everybody gets a ribbon type of competition. I understand that when we're talking about NBA Finals MVP, but I do think looking at it, and even we talked about it here on this show, you and Drapes, me and you. There were points of times throughout the season where it felt like Jaylen Brown was the leader of the team.
Yeah.
We also heard, the whole NBA, I guess, media, the circle kind of talking about questioning, is Jaylen Brown better than Jason Tatum? And I will say this, I do think most people had it made up, Jaylen Brown was going to be the MVP, unless Jason Tatum last night exploded for 50.
Yeah.
Something abnormal, crazy, something big, 10 threes. It was going to take an astronomical game from Jason. But it's tough when you lead the team in everything and you don't win MVP. I can understand the argument.
Yeah. One thing that jumped out at me about the series, as far as individual performances, I came away feeling like I had no idea that one of the best shot blockers in the NBA is freaking Derek White.
I know.
Right? It's like, oh my goodness.
Right.
How does he do that? And I think maybe it was JJ Redick last night or Doris or both of them said he just doesn't give up on plays. I mean, you see that he's not a small guard necessarily, but he is a guard contesting shots at the rim and getting a piece repeatedly. That was shocking to me, but it speaks to how relentless Boston's defense is. And again, as talented as they are, there is a lot to be said when you're playing defense in basketball for just not giving up.
Yeah, it is. I will say this. Derek White, for me, has come from nowhere. Like, he came out of nowhere to be – people are like, this dude is not only serviceable, but he's a bona fide, part of the Celtics, a bona fide starter, a piece of, a lot of people are going to attribute Drew's Holiday's, input with the Boston Celtics. But all throughout this year and last year, Derek White has kind of been one of those guys where people are like, man, Derek White, he's an integral part of what the Celtics do. And I never saw that coming from Derek White prior to him being on the Celtics. I thought he'd be a cool little bench guy. I mean, he's really playing ball.
Yeah, his game has been elevated. He's made them better, and maybe it's being on a better team. I don't know, but he has played so much better. He's made some big-time shots for them, not just this year, but last year too. It's funny, I was looking up some things about him this morning, and I ran across this piece on, I think it was like a Celtics fan site, and it said, the Derek White trade has been a disaster for the Celtics.
Wow.
I was like,
cold takes.
That
What they
did
call
not
them?
age well at
Man.
all. Talked about how much they gave up for him. They gave up a pick and a pick swap and Romeo Langford for a guy that can't really shoot. I was like, is this the same guy? Is this even really about Derek White? So, yeah, I think he's surprised a lot of people. That team, I think, we all overreact every year to whoever wins. But I do think they should have an excellent chance to win again next year.
Yeah, I think so. It's definitely going to depend on injuries.
Yeah.
They've done it. And, when you talk to people who've won a championship, they always say, the feeling, what it takes to finally get there. So that it helps you and assists you. Not saying it's easy to repeat, but it definitely allows you to say, okay, I have an experience in this. I know what it's going to take to get there. I will say this, though. I've seen people argue and talk about how over the last 10, 15 years, the Eastern Conference isn't that weak. Like, people have been arguing that online because you hear a lot of people saying, well, look, the Celtics had a free walk. As I say, they had the ease on down the yellow brick road. Like, it wasn't very difficult. I think if you get the Giannis healthy, if you get the Jimmy Butler healthy, if you get a Paul George, creeping over to Philadelphia, if you get a Dame being healthy, if you get a Joel Embiid 100% in the playoffs, which he wasn't this year, even Ty Maxey missed a couple games in the postseason. Like, if you get guys like that coming back healthy, then yeah, it's going to be a little more difficult. Honestly, I mean, tremendously. the Eastern Conference was a cakewalk for the Boston Celtics. They didn't get to see Giannis, Embiid. Like, they didn't get to see a lot of guys that, even the Knicks were banged up in the playoffs. And I know they didn't play them, but they didn't get to see certain ones from Randolph, not Randolph, Julius Randolph. What am I trying? Julius Knicks.
Julius Randle. Yeah,
Julius
right.
Randle, excuse me. I'm not Randolph. Julius Randle not being hurt. Like, there's some teams they missed on the way. I think if you see some of these, and we can't attribute what, injuries hurt teams, but I thought they had an easy walk, man. I really do.
Yeah, and some of that, I think they would have had an easy walk anyway, just because they're that good. We'll never know.
Very true.
But to your point, they were very fortunate with the injuries. Last year, they played Miami. They fell down 0-3. They came back, forced the game 7. Tatum sprained his ankle in game 7. This year, I know Porzingis got hurt, during the finals.
Yep.
But for the most part, their main guys were, especially you compare them to some of the other teams we saw this year. Even, you look at Luka, who looked like a wounded animal. You mentioned the Knicks, who were just falling apart. And for the most part, the Celtics look like, Porzingis is banged up, but the rest of them were fine.
We're all here.
Yeah, and that's just, good for them. It's just fortunate, but they made the most of that. Now, it's funny because here we are talking about this, and I say something measured like I think they could win it again next year. That doesn't cut it in today's sports talk radio. I realize that because I just looked up at the screen, and ESPN's on here, and somebody just asked Kendrick Perkins, how many titles can this Celtic core win? He said, I see them winning 3 of the next 4.
Of course. You got to put your name on it, right? That's something we ask. And like you said, you can't teeter-totter across the fence, Whitey.
3 of the next 4?
So that means they're going to lose somewhere in between.
Who knows what the NBA is going to look like in 4 years? I
have no idea.
Although win 3 of the next 4.
Not
4 of the next 4, but 3 they got.
Clickbait, man. You know what it is. You know what you got to do. You can't say, like you said, you can't be in the middle on anything.
Right. I think they could reasonably win next year. Nah, that's not going to cut.
That ain't gonna
so
work.
I gotta rethink that, Jay. I got them winning the next 9. I don't see any reason why they can't win
You're
the
taking
next
it to 30-33?
NBA titles.
Okay, I see where you're going.
Yeah.
That'll be Tatum's last season.
Yeah.
He's on his way out.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You got by then is Jaylen Brown's son to be playing or something.
Yes, and Tatum won't be the MVP of the finals until the 9th one. He'll finally
get one of the last ones.
Yes.
The swan song?
Yeah.
They're gonna give him the swan song.
Peyton Pritchard's actually gonna get one before Tatum gets one.
Is Al Horford, how long is he playing here?
He's gonna be it's probably just couple more years. 2 more years.
Drew Holiday.
Yeah. And then it's going to be nice because they're going to re-sign his dad, Tito. You see Tito there for his last game. They're going to play together.
Let him retire.
Yeah. And then Tito's going to play so well, they're going to sign him for the postseason. He's going to get a Finals MVP award before Tatum does.
Here we go. 1948. You think Drapes would have got this? I found a couple things for Philadelphia.
Okay.
1948. Future Baseball Hall of Fame pitcher Robin Roberts debuts for the Philadelphia Phillies, taking a 2-0 loss against the Pittsburgh Pirates at Shibe Park in Philadelphia. You think Drapes would have got that?
Of course, it's Philadelphia.
All right. How about this one? 1950, the Cleveland Indians score an American League record 14 runs in the first inning, beating the Philadelphia A's 21-2. Sound like Drapes would have got that one.
Yes. Oh, yeah. He's going to get all the Philadelphia stuff he can handle now.
Yeah,
that's what he wants.
You've got to throw in a couple of Philly questions. Where is Shibe Park?
I don't think it exists anymore.
You don't think so?
I think they tore it down.
Let's look that up. Shibe Park. Are you familiar with that park?
I've heard of it.
Okay.
I've just from reading about it. I've never been there. I think, didn't they used to have also a place in Philly called the Baker Bowl?
The Baker Bowl, yes.
Yeah.
Shibe Park, known or named as Connie Mack Stadium, was a ballpark located in Philadelphia. Well, no, we know that.
When we come back, Jay, I'm really anxious to see what you think of the fact that robo-umps are nearly here.
AAA, I know where you're going.
Very, very close to being a reality. Next, with Jay and Whitey on Sactown Sports.
Sacramento weather.
Coach Doug Christie here to remind you, if you're in the market for a new car, shop Folsom Lake Kia. Low interest rates, low payments, and 0 down deals with approval of credit. Folsom Lake Kia, over 25 years, right here in Folsom.
My good friends, Dr. Jack Friedlander and Dr. Pash in Roseville and in San Francisco are offering not only confidence, not only security, but also the ability, if you ain't insecure, to go from the roster to the all-star team. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about upsizematters.com. Time after time, vote after vote, circumference, or as we call it, girth, is consistently ranked as the most important attribute. And Dr. Jack and Dr. Pash can give you a free consultation. The procedure can be done on the same day as your consultation with immediate results. It's non-surgical. It's virtually pain-free, safe, effective, long-lasting, semi-permanent, and doctor-performed. For more information, go to upsizematters.com. Go to upsizematters.com. Make that change. Make the all-star team. Get your girth on.
At the Good Feet store, we take pain very seriously. Whether in the foot, knee, hip, or back, Good Feet makes over 300 styles, flexibilities, and sizes of pain-relieving arch supports. With 26 bones, 30 joints, and over 100 muscles, tendons, and ligaments in each foot, a lot can go painfully wrong. So there's a trained arch support specialist at each Good Feet store to give you a precision fit. Come in for a free fitting and test walk. No appointment necessary. Good Feet arch supports are HSA, FSA eligible.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Vacaville. Online at goodfeet.com.
NBA basketball returns to Golden One Center this July 6th, 7th, and 9th for the California Classic Summer League Games. 3-day passes in the lower level start at just $66 and include access to all 6 games. See your Sacramento Kings as they host the San Antonio Spurs and Charlotte Hornets, featuring newly drafted rookies, NBA sophomores, and other athletes competing to make NBA rosters. Visit kings.com/California Classic for more information and to buy your tickets today.
Dawn or dusk, I'm on the hunt. Skeeter here, Sacramento Yellow Mosquito and Vector Control District, and I'm wearing Skeeter Vision, night vision goggles that light up skeeters at dawn or dusk like the 4th of July. Mosquito, 12 o'clock. Got him. So fight the bite by wearing long sleeves and pants at dawn or dusk when they're most active. Apply insect repellent and drain stagnant water. It's a breeding ground.
Dawn or dusk, the Sacramento Yellow Mosquito and Vector Control District reminds you to fight the bite. For more information or to report problems, go to fightthebite.net.
Save on rows and rows of new Hondas during our giant summer sale at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Hurry in and save on our best selection of new Hondas. Each is priced to sell now. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop for great pricing on a giant selection of new CRVs, HRVs, Ridgeline, Civics, and Accords with low finance and lease options. Get to Folsom Lake Honda or go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm meteorologist Heather Waldman in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Cooler Tuesday evening as the Delta breeze comes inland. Watch for some areas of smoke and haze first thing Wednesday morning. Temperatures Wednesday afternoon in the mid-80s with a mix of clouds. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA app.
The Drive Guys, live and local. Every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
Oh, yeah. Congratulations to Jay. Once again, the winner of the Wayback Quiz. Let's see. What did they call you? Somebody in the chat had a nickname for you. Wayback. JJ, King of the Wayback. King of the Wayback.
That's it.
Yeah.
The title. I'm about to start walking around with it.
I think Drapes getting a little frustrated by your winning streak.
As you should. That's what competitors do. When you take them L's back to back to back, I get frustrated too.
We'll get back to the Kings in just a second in the NBA, but I wanted to know what Jay thought of this. Last night, the Giants had a huge rally, came from behind, beat the Cubs 7-6, and umpire auditor on Twitter pointed out that Manny Gonzalez, who was the home plate ump, he missed 27 calls last night. 27 calls, which is a lot. Now we got word today from baseball that the automatic ball strike challenge system is coming to AAA. And here's the interesting thing to me. It's baseball, so I know for a lot of people it's not interesting at all. They have the automatic ball strike system. They're going to use that, I think, for a week in AAA. They're just using the system. Then they're going to use the challenge system, which is each team will get 2 or 3 challenges, Jay. And baseball says they found that according to research, fans say, I would rather give umpires the opportunity to challenge than I would just have automatic ball strike do it all the time. So they want the gamesmanship. To me, I just soon do one or the other, and let's not have challenges because baseball's slow enough as it is. but they're going to have a challenge system in AAA, presumably to see, what works best so they can bring it to the majors. Automatic robo umpires, if you will, computer strike zones.
Yeah, I'm old school, I guess. Just give me the ump. And with people, we know there's going to be some things that are messed up, right? Human error. I'm not sure where I feel it. I've heard arguments on each side. Try it, I guess. I'm for if it corrects something that is a huge mistake. And the problem is most people are going to say, well, do it in the last couple innings when it counts. Then people are going to say, well, if it counts, the last 2 innings count, then the first 2 innings count. And so
right.
I'm not exactly sure where you fall on. It's above my pay grade when it comes to where they're going with this. What's your take on it? Like, are you?
I've been dead set against it like you
Okay.
forever. The more I watch, you see a hitter sometimes, and better than we do, better than most of us because you've seen it. You see an umpire call a strike on a guy, like a bad pitch, call a strike like early in the at-bat, and it just changes the whole at-bat for a guy.
Yeah.
Then he's in a hole, and that can change the whole game. So I've gotten to the point now where it's like, all right, I'm open maybe to the automatic ball strikes, but if you're going to do that, I don't want any part of a challenge system. I hate that the manager has enough to worry about in a game, right? Without having to worry about, well, do I challenge? How many challenges do I have? The idea should be to get it right. No matter what the manager, I keep saying that, no matter what the manager thinks, or if he wants to challenge, no, just get it right, right?
Yeah.
You can't challenge the umpire. The umpire calls a strike by rule. You can't argue that. You can be thrown out, right?
Yeah.
So why have challenges for ball strike? How does that make the game in any way? How does it make it better? In any way?
It doesn't to me. I mean, unless you want to be absolutely perfect. And this is kind of like the tennis thing. You see the in and out computer that is used, and I got to get the specific name of that for tennis, but it works. You still see players argue it, and then the umpire kind of make a move, get out of my face, and you'll get in trouble, fines, those type of things. I think it's the same situation when it comes to baseball. I just think it has to make sense, it has to make sense for the manager and the umpire to come together in some form or fashion, and for the umpire to say, hey, you actually might be right.
Mm-hmm.
And most people don't want to admit mistakes, and so it becomes a little more difficult. And that's the thing with baseball is when you argue strikes and balls, the umpire is like, no, I called it. It is what it is. It stands. And so to go back and continuously have to correct what umpires are doing, it definitely slows the games down. It definitely doesn't make it interesting. And I think just what you said, you'll probably get 1 strike or 2 strikes per inning, where most batters or coaches are like, man, that's not a strike, but you take it and you move on.
Right.
How many times are we going to slow this thing down?
Right. It's part of baseball at this point.
It's human error.
By the way, on the text line here, getting back to the Celtics, Chris the Mom weighs in. Celtics would not have won so easily in the finals without Derek White and Drew Holiday as well. It was bugging me how Tatum was hogging that trophy yesterday. He did not win it all alone. Yeah, that was another thing, the way Tatum was holding that thing. And sure, you can't blame him for being a champion, but it seemed like he was holding it as if to say, this is mine.
Yeah, a lot of people talked about he wasn't, took pictures on the plane. He wasn't letting it go as they were going down to Disney World. There was a couple opportunities that you saw people talking about in the tarmac, a few times in the car.
Yeah.
There were some people just like moms that was upset about Tatum not relinquishing a Larry O'Brien. I ain't never won a Larry O'Brien, so I don't know how I would feel, but I definitely understand, you got to spread it around. This isn't tennis. This isn't a boxing match. You have teammates too.
Yeah. And Jaylen Brown, who knows how he really feels, but that was really cool and good for the team, for him when he won the award, to talk about Tatum. I can't talk enough about my teammate, how unselfish he is.
Yeah.
That was great.
I've heard this a few times, and we might have to ask Draper this tomorrow. Most people say they're business-like. I haven't really heard anyone say they're super connected at the hip, though.
Mm-hmm.
Most people, they get along as stars, they get along great, which that's all you need. Obviously, they just won a championship. But I've never heard anybody say, outside of business, outside of work, they see them together.
Mm-hmm.
So it's an interesting dynamic for them, and now that they've won a championship, the dynamic will, of course, change. Now that Jaylen Brown is the MVP and Jason Tatum is not, I'm pretty sure the dynamic will change a little bit. And we've even started to have some of the conversations here this postseason where people are questioning, is Jaylen Brown better than Jason Tatum? So the dynamic to me is going to change very quickly.
Yeah, they wouldn't be, again, I don't know, like you say, who knows what it's really like between them, but they wouldn't be the first teammates on a really good team to kind of drive each other. Like, he did what? Well, I'm going to do more than that, in a good way, in a healthy way. Sometimes that works. And you go back to, we were just talking about the A's.
Yeah.
The A's couldn't stand each other, some of them, but more than that, they said, all right, but the guy we really can't stand is the owner because he's cheap. So we're going to win. I don't like you, but let's play together so we can win.
Mm-hmm.
So as long as you're, you can be effective teammates and you can be an effective team as long as you realize we have to do this together.
The end goal.
Yeah.
Yeah, the end goal.
All right. Yeah.
Despite it.
Yeah.
Major League, the movie.
Mm-hmm.
We'll win despite this.
Yeah.
Absolutely. The Celtics have for me, they have a promising future. I think they're a year or two later than where they would like to be when it comes to winning championships.
I also hear they're going to win 3 of the next 4.
Yeah, according
Maybe
to the Big Perk. Yeah, and you got 9. That's right. You're on record for 9. Don't forget that. And so I don't know what they're going to do, for an encore. Because, again, I could have seen this team winning 3 years ago, and they'll be running into 3 or 4. Al Horford's on his way out.
Yeah.
Porzingis, you just never know.
Mm-hmm.
They had a cakewalk. Injuries in the Eastern Conference. The Western Conference is knocking on the door. They're right there. I'm not sure you can rattle off 3 to 4 if you're Boston. I think they have they're going to be in the mix the next 2 or 3 years, 4 years maybe, according to Kendrick Perkins, and even U9. But I'm not sure what they do within that time period.
Yeah, their core is, like we were saying, it's interesting. Someone wrote this today. Their depth is at the top. So their top 6, that's where their depth is. The rest, normally we think of depth as being the bench guys. So look ahead to next year. Derek White and Drew Holiday, I don't know, but I watched them play. I don't think they're going to have any problems next year bringing their best effort again. Drew Holiday's already won a championship as it was.
Yeah.
It's not like he took it easy. So it's going to come down to Brown and Tatum next year. How are they feeling? Are they feeling like, we worked a long time for this and we want to win, but we're not able to give it our all this year. That's where they are. They won't win. But if they're, they have that determination that we saw from most recently the Warriors, where we got one, but we want more, then look out.
Want to be great.
We'll just have to see.
Not just be good.
And they probably don't even know the answer yet themselves.
Yeah, they probably don't. Which, as I say, they got a promising future, but I definitely say it's a question. It's a future that could be questioned in many, many ways as well.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And we'll resume that tomorrow. Thanks for being with us. Stick around. We have Infinity Sports Radio, Jay.
We do.
It's next on Sactown Sports. Whitey here, reminding you that not all gas grills are created equal. Bring out all the delicious flavors in your grilled meats with the amazing Napoleon Press